Hi there, everyone! This is the ABCs of RPGs, where we teach you the basic of tabletop role-playing games. My name is Spencer Reese, your game master for the evening, and I'm joined by my players. Whoops, that way. Dalton! Can you introduce yourself and your character that you have brought to this campaign?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Dalton. I'm going to be playing a halfling wizard named UFO. He has a love for pyrotechnics and anything loud and obtrusive.
Perfect! Alright, welcome, UFO. And then next up, we have Dan. Can you please give an introduction to your tough, gruff, mighty character?
Hi everyone, I'm Dan. I'll be playing Bjorn Mountainside. He's a dwarf fighter with comes from a nobility and left his home at the young age of 50 to explore the world.
Perfect. Thank you, Dan. All right. Next up, we have right below me, Justin. Justin, can you please introduce the character that you will be playing tonight?
Hi, everybody. I'm Justin. I will be playing Dr. Rivers, uh, semi retired cleric of Bloomism and amateur semi pro wrestler. Semi pro
Yeah.
pro wrestler. I felt weird saying because there's two pros. Sorry, everybody.
No, you're good. If you guys will audience, you guys will find out soon enough, but we have here a adventuring troupe of performers and entertainers. You'll find out here soon enough. But one of those entertainers is named Ashley, and she is playing Ashley. Go ahead with your character.
Hi guys, my name's Ashley. I am playing an elven bard. I'm a moon elf. And my character's name is Nivara. She is twins with the last person to be introduced, Christian's character Novo. And she is a bit obnoxious. She loves to hog the spotlight. And, she's only a few minutes older than Novo, but she loves to lord that over him as well. As far as her skills go, she really likes kind of the silks, the interpretive dancing, the trapeze, things like that. Not as keen on the wrestling as some of her party mates are.
Yeah. And last but not least, excuse me there, we have Christian playing.
Hi, I am playing Novo Adar, the better DNA copy of the two. um, yeah, I am also a moon elf bard, and Novo enjoys really kind of staying along the wall in his books and piping up when it's necessary, or to win an argument over his twin sister.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so those are your players for the evening. Now, tabletop role playing games are essentially an improvisational storytelling mixed with some rules to bring some structure to it. Today, on the ABCs of RPGs, we are covering Dungeons and Dragons, specifically their introduction to their tabletop role playing game, the Essentials Kit. They've made two different types of starter kits. The first one named the Starter Set. This one is the Essentials Kit. They have two different ways of kind of like how they approach introduction to Dungeons and Dragons. This campaign adventure is called The Dragon of Icespire Peak. Now, last week in our session one, our party landed in the town of Phandalin. They when they first got to town, one of their main objectives was well, two different things. Half the party, let's say UFO, Bjorn, and Dr. Rivers, decided to go to the tavern with Dr. Rivers and Bjorn running there first. Meanwhile, Nivara and Novo decided to split up and go to find a crossbow. So they went to the Lion Shield Coster. Coster? Whatever. So, in the Lion Shield Coster, they met a lovely person by the name of Linnell. I think that's what I decided to go to. Linnell. I think I had some trouble with the name, but they met Linnell. Novo tried to flirt with her a little bit, try to get a good discount. Meanwhile, at the bar at Stonehill Inn, Bjorn and Dr. Rivers started to drink quite a bit while UFO walked in, ordered something much stronger, lit it on fire, and proceeded to drop a little bit on himself. But then the party reunited at the quest board and decided, hey, we'll go we'll go check out this Nomengard thing. But before they went on their quest, they were like, it's kind of late in the evening. Let's try to earn our keep in Stonehill Inn. So the party put on a wonderful performance. Their pro wrestler duo, the Mighty Hammer, who is Bjorn, and the Diamond Anvil, who is Dr. Rivers. They donned their personas and they fought the Moon Twins, which was Novo and Naivara. They had some mishaps a bit on the ring. A little bit of a kick to the nuts for Bjorn. But they played it off well. I know that they ended with I think it was Bjorn grabbing Novo and doing a big giant slam down. And at first, it seemed like they weren't going to pull it off because the rolls were not there. They were doing group checks and it wasn't working out. But then UFO came in clutch with his inspiration point from the beginning of the match, saying the fight 3, 2, 1 like a video arcade, and made a loud sound like a bone cracking, and the crowd went wild. Specifically, Andrew and Thistle, which were two employees at Barthen's Provisions. The next day, the party actually went to Barthen's Provisions because they were promised a discount. Oh no, Ash, come back. Oh, okay, there we go. We're back. Your video looks fine to me.
Hey, sounds good.
All right. So they went to Barthen's Provisions to negotiate a discount, which Barthen was not privy to. he was not aware that was going to be negotiated. But the party agreed to shout his store's name before each one of their matches, and in order for a sponsorship to be applied. And so, with that negotiation underway, they decided to venture forth to Nomengard, and that's where we pick up with the party today. So, Dalton, you can go ahead and shift on over to the map.
Yeah.
Welcome to the place.
All right. So at Nomengard, you guys were able to get here by following a river to like the kind of like a cave, like a waterfall cave type deal where it's kind of raining down. You ended up going up this like small little path in because all the other ones were like 30 feet up, and Novo, I believe, was in front, right?
Yes.
Okay. Novo, leading the way, kind of was inching his way up the little path upward because he was able to detect with his elven eyes a small path that was leading to the riverbank towards the mushrooms and back. So this is where we're picking up now. What I can do is I'll go ahead and kind of describe what you're kind of seeing as you approach the doorway, and you guys can kind of describe where you want to go and what direction you want to move forth to. So, basically, as you approach this entryway, it's like a carved out entrance. This is all like a mountainside, and it's kind of like dug out and stuff. And the entranceway is 7 feet high and flat. It's like all the caves are illuminated by like these like oil lanterns, and they're like on pulley systems. So essentially, it's like 7 feet up, but like you like can like pull it down like probably to about UFO's height. You can kind of like pull it down and refill the oil lanterns if you want, and like put it back up. So like as you're approaching this kind of like entrance, there's just like a little lantern on this like pulley system right at the entrance there. So I'll turn it over to you guys, and I'll reveal a little bit more of the hallway.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna be following kind of behind Novo as we're kind of turning around this corner here.
Yeah. So you kind of approach this like entryway, and it seems to be kind of like a long hallway. You have one first turn to your left, and then further at the end, what appears to be like at the end, there's a channel to the left and to the right. So you can go either way from there.
Move on up ahead.
Spencer,
Yes.
as we're doing this, are we going to be taking this kind of like a freeform kind of way, and you'll tell us we need to stop and start taking turns, or like since we're on a grid, do you want us to be like kind of going in a turn order as you reveal stuff?
Yeah. For now, it's going to be freeform. So as you kind of like guys like approach, just kind of describe what your character's actions are doing. I'm going to be going more off of like less about like token placement, although I would like you guys to place yourselves where you think you would realistically be at each point in time. But I want you to kind of describe what you're doing, and then if something arises where it requires like there to be turns, I'll go ahead and like cut it, and then we'll start doing turn by turn, and I'll get out the counter and everything. But if there is any kind of like confusion or like like there's unknown about what who's going when and like talking over each other, we can just go to a turn-based system. But yeah, I want to do freeform for right now. So for example, like Novo, if you are like, hey, I want to turn left up here and kind of like peek in or something like that, or like you can say something like, I want to stealth my way in, I don't want the gnomes to like know who's coming, or I don't know who's in here. You can kind of like put yourself up against the wall and kind of like sneak and then like peek around the corner, or you can kind of like, yeah, however you want to kind of approach this. Justin, what are you rolling for?
I was testing a macro.
Oh, okay.
Didn't go well.
Yeah, get it
No,
out
I
of your
did
system
not.
now.
Yeah,
We need to
now-
redo that
now that
macro.
I've
Sorry
tested-
about that.
But now that I've tested the macro, let me go ahead and roll perception.
No. Yeah, that was that's my I was trying to make a macro for my basic attack, so I wouldn't waste time.
No worries. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. So
Um,
anyways, yes.
well, since it's on me anyway, Dr. Rivers is going to kind of make his way down the riverbank toward this island of green and red mushrooms.
Oh,
Just
you're
like-
okay.
Yo,
Kinda-
are you splitting the party already?
No, he looks at the path, and then he looks over at the mushrooms,
Yep.
and then he goes, "Gnomes, huh? I'm gonna go collect a few of these
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
science." He
Absolutely.
walks over there, and then he's gonna
Bjorn's
come
gonna-
back.
Bjorn's gonna go alongside Doc Rivers. Because
For
Doc
protection.
Rivers is just like a little bit smarter and more experienced than Bjorn, and is
Yeah.
just like, hey, I gotta follow this guy. This guy knows what he's doing.
So getting closer to the water, because you're getting closer to the water to the mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. Can I move myself? Let me see.
You should be able to. Let me know if you have any trouble with that.
All right. So Doc
excuse me.
can only go like 20 feet because he's in plate mail. And
As you approach the water, it appears to be like it slowly descends, but like at the deepest parts, it's 5 feet deep. But between this the mushroom island and you, the deepest part is like 2 feet, and that's like right in the center here. So you can kind of like, I guess, walk across just fine.
and then is it dark in here? Is it all dark?
No. So although this is in the shade of the mountain, it's not dark yet. Even walking inside, like where Novo is and such like that, the lanterns make it bright enough to see. There doesn't appear to be no requirement of dark vision, shall we say?
And I guess I don't know. We're not really doing turn based, but I'll use my action to dash so I can go double my movement this turn and then
Perfect.
cross to here.
Yeah. So
That's all I can do.
you get to the mushroom island. While you're doing that, is anybody else Bjorn? Are you joining him in this mushroom adventure? Okay.
Yep.
Are you able to move your token, or should I just go ahead and move it for you?
Oh yeah. Which one? I gotta keep
It should be the green one. Here, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So Novo and Nivara, I will pick up with you in just a second. So you go, you're on this like little mushroom island, and there's red and green mushrooms there.
Sweet. I am going to make sure I have gloves on,
Yep.
and I'm going to take my like undershirt and I'm gonna put it up over my face, and I'm just gonna take my little pocket knife and I'm gonna cut like a few of them off and then put them in my bag, like two reds,
yeah.
2 greens.
2 reds, 2 greens. All right, add that to your inventory. There should be, if you're using a character sheet, you should have like a little section there that you can write that in. But keep that in mind for right now, that you have 2 of each of those mushrooms.
Okay.
Is
Hold
Bjorn
I'm gonna,
taking? Yeah.
Bjorn's gonna be like, try to impress Doc Rivers and be like, oh, there's some purple ones over here. Go over and get some purple ones.
Yeah.
2 of each. Get 2 of each.
How
Yeah,
tall
yeah.
is how tall is Bjorn?
Bjorn is 5 foot. Oh, where's my character sheet? I think he's like 5 foot or
Yeah.
something.
Dwarf
And-
is gigantic.
I took the tallest of what the lore said is that dwarves come.
He's very tall for a dwarf.
He's
Very
a tall
dwarf.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit in with the dwarves. He doesn't fit in with humans.
He fits in with Doc
Hey.
Rivers.
He fits in with Doc Rivers.
Yeah, he makes an excellent pro wrestling partner.
Mhm.
So it does get 5 feet deep, and I believe you're wearing armor. Like, what type of armor are you wearing?
Chainmail.
Okay, so like, here's the thing. I like to imagine, and correct me, but like, you just kind of trudge through this, but it does like get like above your head at one point, but you just kind of like, do you want to just like run through it and get to the other island?
Yeah. I mean, do you want an athletics check? I'm
Yeah,
deficient in
sure.
athletics.
I was
Okay.
just gonna let you do it, but you know what? Let's have some fun and have you make that roll.
Oh, you're just gonna let me know. Okay.
Oh,
What
man.
is my proficiency? It is
Plus 2?
5. That's what we love
Okay,
to
cool.
see.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's
He's
get
very
this.
athletic. He's a very athletic dwarf.
Yeah, and he's wearing that armor all the time, and he's a pro wrestler. He's got to be. Oh, you move so quickly through this water. It like starts to part ways a little bit as your antler like helmet starts to just like part the water. You make it to that island no problem. Are you taking some of those mushrooms?
Yeah, I want 2 of each. 2
Okay.
green, 2 purple.
Oh man.
Are they a different kind of green?
No.
Oh,
You
just
don't
like
know.
a-
You
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know
I
too
don't know.
much about mushrooms, but they look the same. If
Okay.
you want to make a nature check, you can, but
What do I know about nature? I kind of know a little bit about nature.
and while you're looking that up, let's go back to Novo and Nivara. Novo, Nivara, you start to approach what appears to be the entranceway into Nomagard. You are not met by any guards or civilians. What do you choose to do?
I want to peek down the hallway and see if I see any more footprints.
Sure, yeah. So, just the hallway that's right in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me kind of like, this would probably be a investigation check because you're trying to track footprints that have already been there for a little bit.
Okay.
So, and to viewers at home, while Ashley's kind of looking that stuff up, perception and investigation are pretty tricky. Oh my gosh. Good rolls.
20.
Good rolls all around. Oh my gosh. So to viewers at home, perception and investigation, one uses your wisdom, where the other investigation uses your intelligence. And how I like to describe the difference is that perception is kind of like seeing if something looks wrong just right off the bat, whereas investigation is like taking time, picking up stuff, looking at clues, and investigating in order to find out, like, maybe put pieces together or find out like a certain, like, what happened in a certain area. So like, while like perception would be like walking in and being like, that bush looks funny, investigation would be like, all right, so I found this rusted dagger and these bones. So what probably happened was this bear killed this human and he stabbed it with a knife or something like that. So, but Ashley for Nivara got a nat 20, which is the highest roll you can roll. We call that a critical success. So yeah, you see trails. So you see 2 main trails of footprints. Right here to your immediate left, you see where most of the footprints from the mushrooms kind of lead to. like well worn, like this is the path, like where the mushrooms came from, they go in there. A lighter path kind of leads down and takes a right down here at this foot, so it's kind of leading right. It's not as well worn, but it's you have some footpaths that lead down that way. But with your nat 20, you notice something extremely odd. Going north and south in this hallway right here, only in this hallway down where I'm pinging, there appears to be like uh, solid circles from like some sort of large thing that walked like maybe north and south, just like large circles imprinted into the ground. Not a
Mhm.
gnome, much bigger than a gnome.
Okay. Are they perfect circles?
Yes, they are perfect circles.
Okay. I'm gonna elbow Novo in the ribs, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, dork." So looks like most, like, yeah, kindness matters, but we're siblings. And be like, "Hey, dork. Looks like down this hallway, which is gonna be the one that you pinged first. Can I do that? I can.
Yes.
Looks like down this hallway is where most of the people go, and like we are supposed to go see the gnomes, so maybe we should do that. But I don't know if you see down there, but there's some weird tracks down at the end there, and they're like perfect circles. That's very odd. I don't know. What are your thoughts, brother dearest?
Um, I'm gonna attempt to recall lore based on my readings of gnomes.
Yeah, go
How,
ahead.
how would you like me to, since that is a part of me being a sage, how would you go ahead or like me to proceed with that?
Yeah, can you read me more about your sage background? What is this feature that you kind of get?
Yeah. Uh,
And while you're looking that up, I can kind of describe what I was going to do is probably have you make a history, which is an intelligence check with your stat, or probably an arcana, because most people who kind of know gnomes' backgrounds in the D&D universe, they are like innately magical and like have a
mhm.
lot of magic abilities. So arguably, depending on what you get for either or would tell you more about their aspects with that. But what is the sage feature that you're talking about?
Yeah, so it is called Researcher. And it just says when you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you don't know that information, you have to know where and from whom you can obtain it.
Mm,
Usually, this comes from a library, scriptorium, university, or sage, or other learned person or creature.
yeah.
Um, and the DM can rule, if the knowledge is accessible or not, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So how I'm going to play this out. So basically this means that
Yeah.
I'm going to have you make a roll, and if it turns out to be a failure, that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean it means that you may not know it right now, but you can be like, "Oh, well, you know what? When we were back in Phandalin, I know that there was a record keeping office. I bet that it would have more information about the gnomes here." That's something you innately know.
Sure.
So I'm still going to have you make that check. If you would like to do Arcana or a History check, I'll allow either or. Now, letting
Okay.
you know how I do rolls is that if you do Arcana, you're gonna learn more about the magic of gnomes, whereas the
Okay.
history is gonna be knowing more about the history of gnomes. What exactly were you trying to recall again about the gnomes? Just general information, or
Um, basically, there are settlements or cities within, how they settle,
yeah,
and whether it's within mountains and so on and so forth,
yep,
to give us more information about where these paths may lead and how they may be constructed.
okay,
So,
let's do it.
um, I am going to go. Let me roll for history.
History, let's do it. Try to see if you know any knowledge about gnome architecture and what they can kind of do and construct.
um, that's okay. 15.
15. All right. So, recalling from your knowledge about gnomes, you know that their architecture and their structure seems to be a little bit chaotic. While very intelligent creatures, they don't really have a set architecture or path, and a lot of things can be windy and twisty, and you know what? They might even have some weird traps thrown about that can be disarmed with magic. But you just have to be careful about it. That's probably what you recall from your magical knowledge about gnomes. And we're gonna put a quick pause on Nova and Narvara and go back to the Mushroom Bros down at the small islands. So you guys both collected some mushrooms. Bjorn, did you collect 2 green and 2 purple as well? Because I know that's what.
did.
Okay.
And then I also actually, I don't know if you see a little further up in the chat, I did make that nature check, got an 11.
They are both the
So-
same green mushrooms.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you.
That's all we need to know.
Yep.
So I guess I'm just gonna like look over at Doc Rivers and just be like, "Hey Doc, mushrooms."
I
And
mean, they
then,
might kill
like-
us, so we shouldn't eat them right away. They might be for medicines, which is why I was getting them.
You think they're for fun too?
I mean, some of it could be.
those guys-
Medicines can be fun.
The
Sometimes.
medicines can be really fun. Okay. Yeah. Well, you're the doctor. You would know.
Yeah, it'll be. Just don't eat them now, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
and
Put them
I'm,
and like
I'm
wrap
gonna
them.
go.
Yeah, put them in your backpack so they're safe and not like maybe putting spores. Maybe it puts spores all over your stuff. That might be really bad too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here, put them in my spell
Uh,
component pouch.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
just like throw them. I throw them over to Doc Rivers.
Cool.
Okay.
And then we're gonna
That
head
is
back up over to
5,
the-
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That's 35 feet. Normally you can throw things, I think, within 15 feet just fine, because that's like the range of like throwing knives and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
maybe over here on the shore, and we'll you can give me the mushrooms then, and I'll
Okay.
move over this way.
Oh, that was quick.
Okay,
God,
cool.
Oh, that was fast. Whoa, you ran.
Oh, yeah.
Super fast. It was like a second you got over here.
I like to I like to think that Bjorn also parted the seas once again when he ran back over.
That's not
UFO,
That's a weird feature of the helmet.
Ufo, what are you doing? So these guys just got back across the river. The other 2 are investigating the doorway. Is Ufo joining one of them? Is he doing his own thing? What's going on?
Yeah, Ufo's gonna walk up to the 2 that just got back with those mushrooms, and he's like, "Hey, can I get a look at one of those mushrooms? And I want to do an Arcana check to see if there's like anything magical
Yeah.
about the
Oh
mushrooms."
heck yeah! I hold my mushrooms out.
All right, cool. Let me just get a quick look. Let's see here.
I can't help you with this because I don't know anything about magic.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Yay, magic boy.
I rolled an even 10.
Yeah, these mushrooms look larger than normal. That's
I'm
about all.
not sensing any sort of arcane energies or anything coming off.
Might be magic.
Oh, I detected magic last session. They are not inherently magical.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Justin, I didn't realize you did that. You gained some more knowledge. From
okay.
that. There, from your detect magic. Now, normally you can kind of like see, like you can kind of sense magical auras around you and stuff like that, and you can kind of tell what type of magic it is, right?
Yep.
So from your
well, yeah. Let me see how. But you keep going. And I'll correct you if there's any weirdness with the spell.
Sounds good. So the other thing you detected was this whole place is surrounded in magic. Like whole place, like surrounding it. Especially it's concentrated around this like these islands and stuff, like the mist and everything. And then let me know if you can tell what type of magic it is.
Okay, so for like 10 minutes, so I could get a sense of the whole thing as we walked around, I guess. I don't think it's been more than 10 minutes walking around this. Let's see. You sense magic in this way. Within 30 feet, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. You learn its school of magic, if any. This spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Yeah. So, yeah, you see magic kind of an aura or irradiating everything around you, and the source of this magic is wild.
Oh. Weird.
And going back to UFO real quick,
Mhm.
I'm sure Dr. Rivers would have told you
Shared
that.
this with, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so by knowing that, you can probably surmise that, oh, these mushrooms are probably abnormally larger because of this magic.
Mhm. Yeah,
But that's
UFO sniffed it. He knew what was going on.
You sniffed up in the magic.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah. I smelled it. I
smells
smelled the
arcane
magic.
in here.
Yeah.
So
What does arcane smell
we're-
like?
Crackles.
It smells like crack. Oh, like the little candies.
Yeah. Candy.
Oh, they smell like rice and
Oh.
chocolate. That's awesome. I want to smell
Oh my
magic.
god.
I know.
Take a big whiff, and he like
Hold on.
holds up your component pouch to your nose.
Nope. Nope.
And then UFO shouts up to the twins. He's like, "Are you guys doing okay? Find anything up there?"
and let's go back to Nova and Narara.
I'll kind of come back around the corner when I hear that, and they can see me from up here, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be like, "Be quiet! We're trying to be stealthy." But I'm
As
not
you
gonna
whisper
mouth it
shout?
to them as I
Yeah.
whisper shout. Yeah, whisper shout.
So just to let you know, the waterfall is like deafening. Like it's loud throughout this entire area. I'm not sure if I described that correctly earlier, but that's why there's like a mist throughout the entire area and stuff like that. So
No,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
probably have to yell to each other
I have to
anyways.
shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, UFO smelled that too.
In that case, since the waterfall is deafening, I'm just gonna shout. And I'm still gonna say, "Be quiet! We're trying to be stealthy," but like I'm shouting it, so not that stealthy. But I'm gonna ask if they want to come up and join me, though.
What do you guys do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll come up and join him.
What's Novo doing?
Yeah, you're still leading the way. You're at the top there.
Yeah, so I kind of, when she's doing that, I kind of tell her, we like, tell them we found a path forward. And as I assume as they're coming up, Novo is like, from my studies, I believe that the paths we see before us will become more and more numerous, and some without purpose, but some leading to a city or settlement of the gnomes that we are looking for. We must be careful, for they use magic and traps along their paths.
Mm.
Hmm.
So. The
So which way
gnomes are
should we go?
That way. Or that way. Over there.
That way?
We can
What about
start.
that way?
We're on this way.
Now, as we go forward into these paths, we must air some caution and stealth, for they'll be able to hear us a lot easier.
That makes sense. So we should
Doc
split up.
Rivers lifts
right?
up his chainmail and goes, jingle jangle, jingle jangle. You guys go ahead.
No.
I'm gonna make so much noise as I walk. I sound like a coin purse.
If we split up, we'll be quieter as individuals than if we would be as a group. So we should all head off in different directions.
That sounds wrong.
Like a bad idea.
Bjorn raises his hand.
I don't know if I'd advise that either.
Hey,
I am also wearing chainmail. What if me and Doc Rivers went one way, you guys went other way?
Oh, like a
Ooh,
distraction?
I do know. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, we can play our bagpipes, and I'll play my shield.
What if we come in peace? Because I think we also could try peace as an option.
Well, I know. That's why we're playing the music, to let them know we're friendly.
Exactly.
What more friendly
And then you
instruments
guys-
could we have Then,
You guys
no, that's
sneak in
terrible.
and steal their
Bagpiping,
crap.
bagpiping, shield banging is going to make it look like we're coming to kill them.
We're gonna hit them. We're gonna hit their wallets. All right, you sneak in and steal their crap.
As
No,
I
soon
was
wait.
at Dwarf Royal. Little dwarf thieves used to run this gambit on my family all the time. All right, they come in with their
We could
bagpipes,
wrestle them.
and then the
for
elves would
friendship.
come in and steal all of our crap.
No, none of that's right.
I would
This seems like a
recommend
bad
if we do
idea.
split up, you should leave markers, a trail for for whatever direction you go, so you can always find your way back to us.
I'm gonna like tug on Novo's.
What if
like,
we just stay
cloak?
behind you at a safe distance, and then you let us know when it's safe to come up?
Yes. Well.
Oh, this
Bjorn
is-
and Doc Rivers are talking. I'm gonna grab Novo's cloak and bring him to the side and say, "We cannot let them split up. We cannot. They are going to get themselves killed, and they won't be able to make their way back if they're dead."
I know, right? Like, what crazy people think bards should be the leaders here?
I know.
There.
You need to go ahead.
From all the stories I've read, that's how you die so easily as a bard.
I know. We're not cut out for this.
It's true.
But we can't split up.
What's your best excuse here?
Let's make them take the lead. And they'll be the distraction and the bait, and they're also the muscles so they can protect us.
It's true.
Yeah, make
I
them
mean,
take
why
the
else
lead.
have them, right? You know,
Right.
ultimatum. They do that or they get kicked out, right?
Yeah. Okay, good plan.
And they have to, since the waterfall is deafening, they have to say
Yeah.
that at the top of their, like as loud as they can
Lungs.
say that, right?
Yeah, I don't know how far
so
they went
at-
away.
At what point,
Dr. Rivers
does
turns
the,
and looks at
the
them.
sound?
I can hear you.
All right, so hold on. Before Dr. Rivers and Bjorn and Ufo react, Christian and Ashley, did you want your characters to be heard, or did you want this to actually be a silent, like, aside? Because you would have to move a little bit away, because like Dalton said, the waterfall's pretty loud, so like you would have to shuffle. Like down here and like have this aside and then run back up, or you could have it right here and they could vaguely pick up what you guys are talking about.
See, I was thinking that I would drag Novo, like,
I would assume we were going into the.
just inside this, like, corridor.
Oh, okay, this corridor right here. Okay.
It's quite risky.
Oh. I thought you were
We
doing
don't
it
know
like
what's in there.
right to the aside. You're like, hey, come here, and we're like right here, and you're over here. Us three just standing, being like, which way should we go? And you're like,
So-
let's just betray them and use them as meat shields.
Oh, I'm like in the hallway.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So like as you get inside, the waterfall kind of like, softens a bit. So you're able to kind of have the conversation if you go into the hallway further. But Bjorn is right here, so you probably have to make it like right in here if you want to have that conversation.
It's okay.
As you guys,
It's okay, it's just Bjorn.
No, I.
he might not even understand that.
His hearing is based on movement.
I just go, oh hey guys, and I walk out, and while they're having their aside, right? I pull Ufo and Doc Rivers to the aside, and we have another aside, right? There's just two different asides, and I go, guys, I still haven't gotten my question answered. Can I eat this mushroom?
I'd wait
Nah.
to ask the gnomes whether or not you can eat the mushroom.
Yeah.
But it looks really good.
I bet it'll taste even better roasted. So let's find some fire, roast those bad boys up.
Yep.
All right, cool. So you guys have the mushroom conversation while Novo and Ivara are talking about sacrificing their teammates. Great. So, but as you kind of move into that hallway and have that conversation, you do see that there seems to be empty tables down this hall down here.
Spencer, how tall are these tunnels? Like
7 feet.
7 feet? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So we
I
can
know.
stand up.
Second question about the tunnels. Is there like airflow, like going in or out of the tunnel? Like
Yeah, for sure.
Like wind is blowing out of the tunnel?
Not strongly, but there's enough. Like there's some airflow, like a light breeze.
Okay, so like I
Like
can.
hot air leaving the inside of the tunnel and like cool air coming in.
Okay, not in a way that like this tunnel might connect to an exit somewhere else. Just in a way that like there's activity inside.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, like, there's these other entrances, like you see from the outside. Like, do you see like 30 feet, 20 feet in the bridge and stuff like that? So there's these other entrances that you can probably surmise that, oh, this all probably connects together. So there's that kind of airflow, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah.
So after we have this aside, I'm gonna kind of like sidle back out of the hallway, and I'll call back to the party mates, and I'm gonna be like, guys, there's some tables. Do you guys wanna go check it out?
Yeah.
All right. That's a weird question, but I'll see these
Let's go see what
tables.
these-
Are they
let's see what these
nice?
tables are
Are these
about.
nice tables?
I don't
Let's
know. They're
walk
just
in.
tables.
Yeah. Doc,
yeah.
Doc Rivers walking in, hearing about these
Oh,
tables.
hey, that's a different kind of table.
Yeah. So this
Oh,
room,
yeah.
this room contains several
That's
dining tables and chairs sized for small folk. A stout wooden cabinet against the east wall is right there.
I want to sit down in one of the chairs.
You do so. It fits you, maybe a little bit too small because you're a taller dwarf, but you can sit okay in it.
I usually have the opposite experience. This is very nice. Come, UFO. Join me. Join me at this table. Sit with me.
Yeah.
Sit with me at this table.
And
made for us.
UFO walks in and he's like, oh snap, finally. Some me-sized furniture.
Decor. I know.
This is rad. And he sits down and like in a chair and his feet are like touching the ground and he's sitting in the chair. They're not like swinging back and forth.
Yeah. Isn't this lovely?
This is rad. Why can't all chairs be like this?
Yeah, why can't everyone just be shorter?
It's way better to be smaller.
Yeah, way better.
Oh man.
See the finer things down here.
Right?
What time of day is it?
So you guys left Phandalin early in the day. So I think we said it took about 3 hours to get there, and you left maybe like early in the morning. So it's probably around 11. Would you guys say? Like
Sure.
11 a.m. I think
Like
that
11,
sounds good.
12, something like that.
Yeah, so slightly before noon.
Okay.
I love the fact that all of you were like, barely inching inside and kind of nervous about how you approach. And as soon as you get in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's me-sized furniture!" And then you get and you sit down.
I wanna check out what's in this cabinet.
Oh, in the cabinet? Yeah. You search through it. It holds tin dishware and utensils.
I take a utensil.
All right, you do so. You have there's like forks, spoons, and knives in there. Do you grab like one of each, or what are you?
Yeah,
doing?
I want one of each.
All right, still in the tin silverware from the gnomes. Great job. Great first impression.
Is there any debris, anything left on the tables or chairs or on the ground? Is it pretty clean, or is there something? Okay.
Crumbs? Are there crumbs?
No. From all that you see here, like it's definitely well worn and used, but like maybe you find a few scraps of like crumbs on the ground, but not much. Most of it's cleaned up, like it's been carefully prepared.
Okay, so we
recently
can surmise...
used. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good, Christian. I recently used.
Okay. So we know that this is in a dining area, basically, for whoever resides within.
Doc
Well, there
Rivers
must
is
be a
gonna go
kitchen
through the
nearby.
hallway.
Oh, sorry, Ashley first, and then Justin. So, would you say Ashley?
Well, there must be a kitchen nearby.
kitchen nearby. And then Justin, you were describing Dr. Rivers' actions.
Yeah. Dr. Rivers is just gonna kind of take a step down this way into the hallway. Is it dark? Is it lit? I mean, are there torches?
The lanterns on the pulley system that you saw when you first walked in are scattered throughout the entirety of this place, so it's all well lit. Everything is taken care of, and much like how this kitchen or this dining area was carefully taken care of and cleaned up after it was used, those oil lanterns all filled up perfectly fine. Doesn't seem out of place. So walking down this hallway, there is no like immediate or apparent, like everything's lit up just fine.
Okay.
And you see yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I want to look back over my shoulder. Novo, you said traps? And he's going to look around and see if there's any kind of breaks in the floor, or can he see any tripwires or anything like that?
Give me a perception check.
Cool.
If you want to spend more time with it, you can do an investigation, but general, like, scanning areas like this, I like to do perception to see if anything kind of, like, catches your eye.
Cool. And let's see what my bonus to that will be. Ooh, I'm perceptive.
Yeah, at the same time, I'd kind of be like, "Where are you going? Did you not hear me?"
Yeah. Okay.
Is Nivara happy that your meat shields are leading the way?
Nice.
Oh, very, very much so. She kind of like discreetly wipes a couple beads of sweat off her forehead, and yeah, she was getting nervous for a second there.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, UFO, you see, the tracks that were coming from the mushrooms lead up into the second left up here. So up this way. I just pinged it if you were able to see that. But the tracks from the mushrooms lead up into that kind of hallway. On the second right up ahead. Where Bjorn, you look down, you kind of scoot ahead. As you look down the hallway, it kind of curves as you see at the end there. And real quick,
are you in
Nova,
that bottom hallway, Bjorn? Is that what you can
No,
see?
I'm-
This way? Are you?
He's right
I'm
ahead of
like-
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
right ahead of me. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start going down like this curved hallway to like maybe like there.
Okay, cool. UFO, Nivara, and Novo, are you just still letting everybody else lead? I just want to make sure I'm not leaving you guys out.
Sure.
Okay,
That
cool.
was my plan.
Yes, I kind of nudge Nivara and be like, "It looks like our plan worked."
Cool. So
I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Go ahead, Christian. You're good.
I kind of yell forward as I see our lead dwarf going back. Well, I guess from my position, I wouldn't see that it is curving right to kind of go south back towards the circular tracks we saw before. Never mind. I gave them the warning.
Okay, cool. Let me get back to Justin because he did roll that perception check and you got a 19, right?
Heck yeah.
Oh, I already sorry. Yeah, the only thing you saw was just those footprints that led to what appears to be the second right up ahead.
Yeah. So I'm gonna continue down that hallway if I can, using like whatever is like rest of my turn.
Yep. Go ahead and move yourself to the end of that hallway. While you're doing that, Bjorn kind of goes ahead down this hallway, and I'm going to reveal more about what he can see. So.
And while this is happening, I'm gonna turn to Novo again, and I'm gonna be like, "They're splitting up again."
So Bjorn sees a little bit like a second like turn up here in more of like a curved hallway and such like that. While Dr. Rivers, you approach a door at the end of the hallway.
Oh yeah, I'll go back to where I was. Sorry. There you go. I'm kind of just like walking up,
Yeah, you're just walking around checking things out. Okay, Bjorn, go ahead and stay there for a second. I'm gonna go ahead, Dr. Rivers. You see this door up ahead? What are you doing? I can describe the door to you. It is a normal door made of wood fitted with rusty iron handles and hinges.
Does it look dusty?
No, it looks well used.
Hmm.
As you stand
I
there, you do hear like some like movement and like tinking and stuff. Like there seems to be a commotion going on inside the kitchen. Or,
oh
I mean, in that
Oh, it's a
location.
kitchen.
No, in that location.
I knew there was
So-
a kitchen nearby.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
I'm gonna scoot like 10 feet down the hallway, and then I'm gonna whisper shout, "Hey, hey! I think I found the kitchen you were talking about, Navarre. I mean, I hear scuttling. I don't know what could be behind this room."
A
Do you-
faint spell of crackles.
There's the faint smell of crackers in the air.
Well, should
man.
we check it out? There could be something good. I'm getting kind of hungry.
Crackle.
Oh, we can't leave Bjorn behind. I don't know where he's gone.
And as you kind of wonder where Bjorn's been, Bjorn, you see inside of this room, it kind of opens up. Now, let me describe to you. Are you going inside this room?
I don't know. On the map, I kind of see a giant spider.
Okay, so I'll describe this room from your kind of position in the hallway there. As you kind of like look in, there seems to be like large metal legs that are like just barely reaching out from around these like large corners. They don't seem to be moving. They seem to be standing still. But you see these like large legs and maybe like a pincher just like kind of like around the edges of the walls.
Menacingly.
Menacingly.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to the party and be like, guys, there's some weird stuff in there. The gnomes have some weird stuff, man.
Weird how?
Yeah.
They got giant like metal leg thingies.
How many legs?
I don't know. I just saw a bunch of legs.
Wow.
Too many to count.
Too many to count, you say? That sounds awesome. Ufo's intrigued by these things.
Hey, aren't
I like the sound of the
Ufo.
kitchen.
Ufo
is this like a magic machine?
Yeah, this sounds interesting. And I'm gonna use my like halfling nimbleness, and I'm gonna like run between everybody's legs and like bounce
Yeah.
around them, and
Yeah.
get like right through everybody.
Yep.
And start walking towards the creatures, and I want to get a better look at them.
Yeah.
I will join UFO
All right, Bjorn joins
because
in.
I'm curious as well, but afraid to go alone.
I like to think like Bjorn's kind of like huddled behind Ufo, and Ufo's just like so happy and like walking to it.
Halflings are very brave / dumb, depending on who you ask.
All right, so you two trudge ahead to this location. And while you're doing that, let's go ahead and pick up. Are you guys opening the door? The Novo Navarra and Dr. Rivers, are you opening the door that was ahead that you heard the commotion behind, or are you gonna?
I'm not. Dr. Rivers is just kind of when he sees UFO just run off,
Yep.
Bound
he's like-
off.
bounding off. My bad. And if as he does that, I'm gonna look at Navarra and Novo and go, I guess we wait.
Or we follow them?
So as we so I assume we all kind of come up towards the door here, right?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
So from within my equipment pouch, I pull out a small bottle of black ink, and I
Yeah.
pour it on the ground, and I take it and I press it up against the door, my ear to the end of the bottle, bottom of the
Yeah.
bottle,
Yeah.
and see if I can hear anything from the other side.
Perfect. Yeah. Go ahead and give me. That'd probably be a perception check. And since you're using the bottle,
Advantage?
I'm not sure if I want to use advantage. How about I give you an addition to your roll? So whatever your normal roll plus your modifiers are, let's go ahead and give that like a +2 for using the bottle to kind of listen at the door. Does that sound good?
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
So my perception is actually +2 for skill.
Perfect.
So that'll be a +4.
Are you proficient in perception as well, or no?
I am, yeah. So that's my wisdom modifier there. Right.
So
Or
then
add
you're
+2
getting,
for it, yeah.
yep, +2 from your wisdom, +2 from your proficiency, and +2 for using that bottle.
That's pretty
Well,
good.
I sorry, my wisdom modifier is 0, so I just have
Oh,
+2
got
in
it.
perception. Yeah,
Okay.
so it'd be +4. Yep. So it'd be
Loaded up at
19.
19, yeah. So you hear on the other side the sound of like a fire just kind of like going and stuff like that. But you hear like the shifting of like logs on the fire, like just like somebody's poking those logs and like moving it about to kind of like stir up the fire a bit. You hear like what appears to be like a not sure if that's coming across the mic, but like a kind of like a compressing noise type
Yeah, it
deal.
sounds like a bellows,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You hear kind of like rolling, like something rolling across the table. You also hear probably just like soft thuds on like a wooden table, like just like soft like little thuds. And yeah, and then you hear just like this like something like something teetering, like a wooden thing on the ground teetering, and then just like a more of like a like instead of like a bellow, more like something's like poofing and like being pressed on, if that makes sense. So those are the kind of you get to hear the different noises that are kind of going on in that room. And while you're listening to that, let's pick up back at Ufo and Bjorn. So you go into the room, and Ufo, are you just brazenly going in there?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So you go in there, and what you kind of see, let's see here. There seems to be barrels that resemble kind of like a shell with 6 articulated metal legs and a pair of forward-facing pincher claws. There appears to be a hatch on top of the barrels, which form kind of like their bodies, and that appears to kind of like be like slightly opened.
Mhm.
So they kind of resemble crabs that
Mhm.
are made out of barrels with like mechanical legs that kind of come out with like pinchers in the front. There's
Yeah,
2 of them in this room.
there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
I want to look up does this one look occupied?
No.
Can I look inside? Does it have like a I'm assuming it looks like it's meant to be steered. Like someone goes inside, there's probably some sort of controls on the inside.
Yeah, as you kind of climb to the top and look in through the hatch, you open it to reveal a interior compartment equipped with a small leather padded seat surrounded by levers, pedals, and gears. So yeah, you do
Mhm.
see that.
Does it to me does this look like a machine of like combat, like it's meant for fighting, or is it more for like industrial work?
Probably industrial work.
Industrial work, okay. And I don't see anything besides like these 2 things in here.
No, this seems to be kind of like a storage area for them because it's like both like sections are like carved out for like their width.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Are they like powered by magic, I think?
yes,
Okay. All right.
that's the easy answer because I don't actually know, so I'm just gonna say yes, magic.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of figured. I mean, like I don't know if the gnomes have learned how to refine oil yet in this timeline.
And with that being said, let's go back to the door. What are you guys doing?
I am smacking Novo on the back of his head and I'm saying, Dork! That ink is worth 10 gold! Are you an idiot?
Well, you got me there. But what I did find out could be super useful. And that information is that we may have a lot of whoever these guys are coming our way. In a short amount of time, it sounds like they're making meal preparations.
Could have opened the door!
Yeah, and blown our cover? Yeah, it's a great idea.
Doc, help me out.
I mean, we don't know what's on the other side of the door. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
my ears are great. You could have just asked me to listen. I mean, really, like a fox or other such animals with good hearing. But yeah, no, why didn't you just ask? That's a little weird. They just dump out the water. I mean, clever, but odd. So good job. I like you.
Thank you very much.
Aw.
Had-
All right. Well, so what did you hear then?
I heard the bellowing of fire and the pounding and rolling of what it seemed to be, whether it was kneading a bread or the cutting of maybe the mushrooms we found. I would only assume that the fire that they have within can at this point can we smell? Can we not smell anything coming from this
That's
store?
true. Does it smell like fresh baked bread?
Absolutely. So you
Maybe
do
stuffing.
smell the wafting of air of definitely a fire going and freshly baked bread, actually.
Ah,
Yeah.
Nice. So that's pretty spot on with the kneading.
so you
Or
heard
rolling.
them baking? Hey,
It's what
are they?
it's-
They're friendly creatures, right? I knew a gnome once. Good times.
Yeah,
I mean, we're supposed to get some weapons from them, so like.
Oh, I'm just gonna go in. I open the door.
You open the door! and
You step in the ink on the way.
Ah. Well, I guess because it's ink, won't both do both. And he goes and does the other one, so now it's even. He's got black soles on his brown boots.
So you go inside, and here's what you see. You see a female gnome using a poker to stoke the fire of a hot iron stove against the east wall. So that's this over here. You see this guy up here. He is like using a complicated press-like contraption, and he is like squeezing like red mushrooms and appears to like pour into these like several cups. It's like as he's like squeezing, like he's like shoving red mushrooms in and squeezing it, and it has like 7 different spouts, all at different directions, all pouring like what appears to be like a red liquid into these like cups. And then after that, let's see here. This gal is standing on top of the table, on top of like a roller pin, and like rolling like dough with like her feet. Like she's like balancing on this like roller pin and like rolling the flour out. And then let's see here. The guy right next to her, who is like standing up at the table, he is like moving. He is taking like green, what appears to be dough. So they're taking the green mushrooms and like forming it into dough and like kneading it. And he's like making like bread, like like little like oval like shaped like bread like things. And he is like concentrating so much. He's got like he's like taking like he's like focusing so hard, and then when he sets it aside, it's all lumpy and like it's like not like that perfect or smooth. And then lastly, this girl over here is standing on top of a stool, but it's like teetering on like one leg because she's like trying to like push in a giant purple mushroom into a barrel that's like too big for the barrel, so it's like top is like sticking out over top of the barrel, and she's like trying to like push it in, but like teetering on this like stool. So that's what you walk in on, like all the gnomes doing all these like wacky, crazy things.
Oh, all right.
They pay you no mind. They are busy.
Walking in, and I'm gonna go walk over to the girl or the gnome who's sticking the.
Oh yeah.
No, she's sticking the mushroom in.
Yeah, and she's
it's
on like
top,
teetering.
It's no good.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna like stabilize her. I'm gonna take the mushroom out of her hands. I'm gonna turn it upside down, and I'm gonna push it in the other way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was sitting here to help you. Not for that, but another thing.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Well, that was what I was trying to do for the last 30 minutes. So tell me, what's your name?
I'm Chris Rivers. I've been sent here to help you help us. We need some weapons. I forget why, but it's really important.
And I'm gonna like
It's a
whisper shout
dragon.
to him.
We have to kill a dragon.
"Dragons!
Yeah,
Dragon!"
I remember now. Thanks. We have to kill a dragon that's been terrorizing this area. And we are sent to check on you to make sure you were still alive and to get weapons from you to kill this dragon. And
Weapons?
that's, yeah. Also to tell you about this awesome show that goes on at this tavern down in Fandolin. It's really cool. There's these guys jumping off ropes, doing slammies with the elbows. There's
Slammies
this
with
one
the
guy
elbows?
called the Diamond Anvil. He's awesome.
Diamond Anvil? That sounds really cool. Sounds sparkly.
He is, and his best friend, the Mighty Hammer.
Yeah.
He like punches people.
Oh,
Awesome.
Mighty Hammer. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, like a blacksmith thing. Yeah, like he
Yeah.
hit
So you
it.
should come to this tavern and watch that show later. But for right now, we need your help to slay the dragon.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't really fight stuff here. We just
Oh, no.
stay here. This is
no.
our place. But you said you're looking for magic? Like
Yeah.
like
We need
weapons?
magic to defeat a dragon.
Oh,
Weapons,
Uh,
magic, large crossbows, maybe.
right. Well, probably the best people to talk to about that would be Fibblestib or Dabbledob.
Oh, okay.
And she stares
Where,
at you
where
like
are they?
you know exactly who that is. She's just like,
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fibble Stab
of
and Dabble
course.
Dob.
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of that?
I
Yeah.
forget where they are right now, though.
Oh, they're probably in the workshop.
And that, where is that? Do you have a
That
map?
way. And she points to the door.
Wow. Well, so you were trying to do do you have anything to do right now?
Yeah, I got like 20 more barrels and like 50 more purple mushrooms I got to stuff in.
Oh, hey, are those are edible then? What are you
Well,
doing with them?
they're not edible right now, but
Oh.
you give this baby about like a quarter moon and it will be wine.
Really?
Yeah.
Purple ones become wine. What about the
Yeah.
green ones?
Green one. Well, see over there, and she points over to the guy kneading like the dough, like forming the dough into the lumpy masses. Up and down's forming them into bread. He
His
makes
name
the
is Up
best
and
kind.
Down?
Up and down.
Okay.
And I'm turf around.
Oh, turn around and up and down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
you,
Right.
what was your name again?
Everybody just calls me Doc.
Oh, okay, thanks, Doc.
And so that becomes bread, and then what about the red ones? I saw he's pressing the red ones into juice.
Oh, well, do you see that? And she points up to like a lantern.
So I just keep my eye normal because that's where everything is.
Yeah. Yeah. She's pointing up and you're just like, mm-hmm.
Yep, right in front of me. Got it.
Yeah, it goes in there. It like goes into like it forms like, do you know what oil is?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I've
okay,
heard of
good.
oil.
Good. Yeah, it goes in, it makes you squeeze it and oil comes out and you put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Green one's bread, purple one's wine, red ones become oil. Great.
Yeah. Hey,
All right,
love
tell-
this chat, Doc. Great with you. Nice talking, but I gotta get back to pushing in some more purple mushrooms, so I gotta go.
All right. Push all your purple mushrooms in. Good.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
If you're looking for stuff, talk to Fizzlestib or Dabbledoc. And then she just goes back to, yep. She takes the same barrel that already is stuffed full of that one mushroom, grabs another mushroom, and tries to put it in the same barrel.
Before I see you're doing this, I turn around one more time. I turn upside, like that.
Oh,
Goodbye.
you're great.
I walk back over and relay all of this information to the twins.
Well, let's go find Fizzle Sticks and Dabbledob.
Yeah, let's go find the rest of the group first.
Fibblestab?
So I guess we'll go this way.
Fibblestab?
Yeah. So you guys
Yeah,
start.
it's Fiddlesticks and Dabbledob. Double Doobie doo.
I'm not. I'm not gonna correct you. I'm gonna let you roll with this. So, because whatever you say is correct.
Fizzy sticks and
Yeah. So, Bjorn and UFO had some time. Now, just to preface this real quick, we are going to take our break a little bit earlier today. So we got about 4 more minutes. So we're going to go on our 5-minute break real quick. Real quick, let's catch up with what UFO and Bjorn were doing while the whole kitchen conversation was going down. I believe UFO was looking inside of one of these mechanical crabs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm looking at in this thing. How easy do I think it would be to modify it in such a way that it would be dangerous? So like you're saying this is more like an industrial equipment, like it's like probably like lifting and moving things too big for halflings
Yeah.
or gnomes, I'm sorry, to carry.
Yeah.
And if I'm thinking if I want to fight a dragon with
Yep.
this thing,
Yep.
it is like the I guess first test, can I steer it? Can I work it?
So you hop inside, right?
Yeah.
You hop inside, and it takes you probably like a few minutes. You're like pulling levers, and it's like shifting to one, like it like tilts, and then you shift another one, and it tilts back or something like that. So it takes like a couple minutes to kind of like get it working. But then you kind of like figure out how to like move the pinchers and start moving it, and you realize it can probably move out into these hallways. Even though this is a consider a large object, it can fit. It can just squeeze through these 5-foot like hallways, and I have a whole stat block for it that I'm going to send you when we go to break.
Okay.
So you can kind of see more about how it can work and what you can do with it, because you can do stuff with it. So.
Okay. Real quick, Bjorn, can you come over here?
Oh yeah, sure.
I want you to.
Sorry, Ashley.
DM, what is a stat block for our viewers?
Very good question. So, sorry, I'm gonna do a quick aside real quick and cover this real quick. A stat block is I'm trying to turn to something that isn't too big of a spoiler. You know what? I'm not going to show any of these in here. We'll kind of bring it up later, and maybe after you fight something, I'll show you the stat block. So essentially, what a stat block is that for DMs, whenever you have like an NPC or a creature in the adventure booklet at the very back, you'll have a bunch of different stat blocks that kind of show you the same stuff for the monsters as you do for the players. So it shows you strength, dexterity, constitution, intellect, wisdom, and charisma, but just for the monsters, and kind of describes different things that those creatures or NPCs can do while in combat, so you can kind of control them like mini characters. But real quick, we'll show you a stat block later on when we encounter our first kind of enemies. Dalton, you were describing UFO's action, and then let's go, UFO and Bjorn's, you guys were doing stuff, and then let's go to break, okay?
Yeah, okay. Bjorn, I want you to try to arm wrestle this thing. I want to get a feel for how strong it is.
All right.
And I'll like maneuver the pincer as best I can, and then Bjorn will like grab one of its claws.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see how that goes once we come back from the break, right?
Yes, exactly. So we are taking a quick 5-minute break. We'll be right back with some barrel crab wrestling action between our magically inclined, flame-producing halfling named UFO and the tough, the mighty Hammer, or also known as Bjorn, Mountainside, arm wrestling a gigantic metal barrel crab. So we'll be right back after the break where we can see what happened. Welcome back to the ABCs of RPGs. Now, when we last left off, our current party, our entertaining troop, was exploring Nomengard. They were sent here to kind of get some magic items to fight off the white dragon that's been terrorizing the countryside. So, currently, UFO, our halfling wizard, was climbing inside of a barrel crab, a giant, a large mechanical like crab with a barrel for a body, and was kind of operating it to kind of see if he can arm wrestle our great mighty dwarf Bjorn Mountainside in an arm wrestling match. So you two are about to go head to head. How we're gonna do this? Oh, Dalton, I did not send you that stat block, but that's okay. I'll send you it right now, and I'll kind of describe what you can kind of do
Mm-hmm.
While we're getting ready. I'm gonna have you both do a contested strength check against one another. So how this works is that both Dalton and Dan are gonna roll strength for their characters, and whoever rolls higher is gonna win. Now, Dalton, I just sent you the stat block. The bear crab has a strength score of 10. So that means he has a +0 modifier.
Cool.
So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna roll a d20 against Dan's strength check.
Okay.
So whenever you guys are ready,
All right.
begin your rolls.
I'll go first on the barrel crab. And I just do a straight roll. You don't want me at like disadvantage since I don't know what I'm doing or anything?
No, because it's a +0.
Okay.
You took some time to kind of like work in the contraption, so you know how to move it from up to down.
All right. UFO
That's 9.
rolled a 9, trying to get that crab going.
Should I just add my strength modifier, or should I add
Yeah.
my proficiency bonus and my strength modifier?
Not your proficiency, just gonna be your
Okay.
strength modifier.
Not even if he's proficient in
Arm
athletics?
wrestling?
Athletics?
I am proficient
Ooh,
in
actually,
athletics.
yeah, you can use your athletics for this.
Well, so then it'd be a 14 instead of a 12.
14. That beats a 9. So how this kind of happens is UFO is like controlling this thing, and it's like rickety and it's kind of like old, and it kind of like puts the arm out, and like Bjorn like grabs, and you're like struggling for a second, but Bjorn's able to kind of like move it back and like touch it down. And UFO, you kind of see that as like Bjorn taps the arm like the other way, like the mechanical contraption kind of creaks and like it like makes like several sounds to indicate that was not good for the device.
Okay. UFO makes a mental note that it's going to need to be like more of a weapons platform, and he's going to need to find some crossbows or some stuff to fire stuff more than it like fight things hand to hand.
Well, just to let you know, if you look at the stat block, you can see that the claws, whenever it makes a melee weapon attack, it has +2 to hit, and it has a reach of 5 feet, and it does 5 or 2d4. I'm gonna have you roll the 2d4 piercing damage, and the target is grappled. So it's very good at grappling targets.
Okay.
Well, grappling targets is a part of its attack, but the escape DC is 10, so it's not the strongest thing. You could probably surmise that this is probably testing its strength and everything. It can probably move barrels, but not much else.
Okay. And Ufa's gonna leave it here. He's not gonna like take it with him without asking.
Oh, okay.
But this was important. This was good research.
So, UFO and Bjorn, your other party members are leaving the kitchen. Are you? Is the rest of the party gonna go down to where the barrel crabs are, or?
Sure.
Yeah, we're
We
gonna
have
go
to
where
find
we
them
saw 'em
anyways.
go. Yeah.
I mean, Bjorn
we
probably
lost.
let out like a victory cry that they probably heard.
Oh yeah, Bjorn, how are you celebrating your arm wrestling win?
I am the hammer.
Echoing
that
down the halls. Yeah.
Doc goes, I know that victory cry, and he bolts off. Little black footprints of the still drying ink.
You're welcome.
So when we make it down this hallway and intersect with Bjorn and UFO, I'm gonna kind of call out to them, and I'm gonna be like, "Have you seen Fizzle Sticks and Dabbledop?"
Is that the name of this crab?
No.
Then no, we haven't met them.
That's a good name for
Maybe?
these. I look at UFO and I go, that's a pretty good name for this crab. We
That
should
is a
call
pretty
this
good-
one Dabble Dap.
That is a pretty good name.
And we'll call this one Fizzle Sticks. I kind of want one now too.
Does
Can I
Bjorn
sit in it?
does Bjorn fit?
I want to try to fit in it.
So you go up to the hatch and you try to squeeze inside. Now this description block says, though a medium humanoid can fit inside with some discomfort, it is designed for a small humanoid. So actually,
it's like perfect.
it fits perfect for you.
Ah, yes, I love this place. This is the place that I was made for. Not too big, not too small,
Oh.
just right. Ah, I love these gnomes, whoever they are. Haven't met them yet. Dang, this is good.
I don't know who lives here. I don't know what they do, but I love them.
All right,
I wanna start
Bjorn.
figuring it out.
Bjorn, we got to figure
I
out
wanna
who owns these things so we
start
can take them
figuring it
home
out.
with us.
And I call out
Ah,
to them, and I'm like, "It's Fizzle Sticks and Dabbledop. The ladies, the baking ladies, they said that we should find Fizzle Sticks and Dabbledop."
Ufo's
we
Ufo's
did
eyes
find
narrows like
Fizzle
we just
Sticks and
named the
Dabbledop.
crabs that though. We found them. They're right
yeah,
here.
we did find them. So we found them. Let's get out of here.
Novo.
As she calls on her brother for help.
What a bunch of idiots.
You grumble that under your breath.
Yes, I understand that, but we may need to find the engineers who made these things.
That is a good point. So where are they?
The workshop.
Where's the workshop?
Well, we don't know yet.
Okay, smart guy.
Well, we did find out that the green mushrooms was used for oil, and oil was probably needed to allow these mechanical devices or crabs to work properly, so we should probably follow some sort of clue that leads us there.
And I'm imagining that Doc and Nivara at the same time are both like looking at each other, and they're like, it's the red ones, right?"
Yeah, he holds one up and then just. Yeah, right? Yeah.
So you're saying I can't eat this one?
No.
No.
No. We can eat. Ooh, okay. So we turn the purple ones into wine. We can. Yeah.
I have a brewer's kit. And I immediately just sit down and I start like trying to brew the purple mushrooms.
Bjorn, listen to me. I like your enthusiasm, but I think this isn't the time to make wine. Let's make it.
Sorry, I had
after
to charge my headphones.
I like to think that was actually you doing the brewer's kit.
Anything you said. This is still going
yeah.
to the brewer's kit.
Right, the little headphone things that we bought for you when you got punched in the ears by a bugbear. Your little gramophone for your head.
Help.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad we got those gnomes. It was nice.
His name was
They're
Jim.
expensive. But anyway,
Bugbear was a dick.
that bugbear was awful. He's so comfortable now, though. I just lay on him sometimes when I go home.
Yeah. Well, it's because we whipped him into shape. But anyway,
I mock him
but I
for
digress.
his face.
So is
I'll
the
sit there
bugbear,
taxidermied, and it just sits there stupid looking like this. And I go, I killed you.
That answers that
Oh.
question.
It's a nice rug.
Sorry,
That piece. It really
that
ties
was
the room together.
That was an overshare.
So, you guys, I want to say that Naivara, you because you rolled that nat 20, I'm going to give you this. From your perception check, you notice that like those flat, like circular footprints were from these barrel crabs, and they lead from this room and go south down this hallway, and that's the same footprints you saw lead down south in this hallway down here. So you surmise that the gnomes use these barrel crabs to travel all throughout the place. And so just to double check, Ufo, I think, said he wasn't going to take one of these crabs, but Bjorn was going to take one of these crabs?
I'm going to borrow it.
Perfect. So I'm going to reveal...
I'm just going to borrow it to go south. Just ride around in it, and I'll, just be like, oh, sorry.
So let me see if you guys can see this. Can you see these three on the side here? No, you can't. Okay, so I have 3 potential tokens that we can use. Oh, why can't I select those? What's going on? Oh, here we go. Okay. So these are the 3 potential tokens that we can use for the barrel crabs.
Is that one a magnet?
That's a lobster holding a magnet. I
Well,
could not find proper
lobsters-
tokens.
Lobsters are not crabs. I want to put that out there.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the top one.
Yeah, crab.
I couldn't find
I
proper
kind
tokens.
of wish the crab had a magnet though. I'm
Yeah,
liking the
that would
crab
make more
magnet.
sense.
Crab magnet?
If
Well,
if we are still using the crab barrel, the barrel crab, next session I will try to find a crab holding a magnet for you, Dan.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But
That'd be
for
real
now,
great. Thank you.
for now,
I'm gonna look for one right now.
yeah, we'll be using this as your ride.
Just
Um,
looks
I
like
could-
Bjorn has crab hands.
I couldn't find a proper token, so this is what we're using. Okay, back to Nivara. Nivara. Let me see if I can give you access to this token, Dan. While I'm doing that, Nivara, are you doing anything with the knowledge that you know that these mechanical things were moved up and down throughout this place? It's okay if you decide not to do anything with it. I was just letting you know and giving you an
Not
opportunity.
really.
Okay.
I think the party can figure that out. I am gonna say, hey, we should follow these crab tracks.
I agree.
South, not north. We were just north.
Hmm.
The other way.
I think that's a wise idea.
Sounds good to me.
Glad you're coming around to my wisdom, Novo.
Nivara,
you
you
have your moments. They are fleeting, but you have them.
Nivara, you want to lead the way?
I think Bjorn should in that crab.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I just scuttle away.
So you press a lever forward, and once again the same stuff that UFO was having trouble with. It like tilts forward, and then you like pull it back, and it tilts back, and then you have to spend a good 30 seconds to kind of get the controls, and then it starts just juddery and moving forward ever so slightly.
I want to try
good, you can control it.
Like that
Great.
scene from Austin Powers. You ever seen that where he's in the tunnel? He's got to go like a little bit back and forth
Yes.
each time.
And I want to be like interrupting and like backseating Bjorn. Like I want to act like I'm an expert now on the crab thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like I'm messing
trying
him up,
to
and like
drive this
it's
thing.
causing him to mess up and like perform a little worse in it.
I'm trying to drive this thing. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, you're both in
Wait,
there?
how-
So it's like super
Okay,
cramped,
like,
right?
No, I'm just like behind him yelling at him. And he's like, no, the left lever. You gotta flip these switches. Is there a blue switch? There's a blue switch in there, right?
No, they're all blue.
Hey Bjorn, do a
blue,
barrel
Except for this
roll.
one. And I just walk the crab back over to Novo, and I just look at him and I go, I can't. I'm sorry. And then I just like walk away.
Oh.
And he waddled away, waddle.
All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep just gonna keep on crabbing on, I guess. We're just gonna keep crabbing, doing some crabby things.
All right, everybody line up. I believe everybody's lining up behind Bjorn. Can you guys put yourself in marching order real quick behind Bjorn? And then something is happening. So,
You should check for traps.
as you enter this room, something is happening. So,
Oh no.
as you enter this room, you see ahead of you, bolted to the floor, is a rotating platform equipped with 4 heavy crossbows. Mounted above the crossbows bows at the height of 6 feet. So, like, we're sitting in here, their head is just touching the roof. Is a chair equipped with pedals that causes the entire contraption to spin counterclockwise, and with levers that reload and fire the crossbows. A creature is sitting in the chair, and he appears to be a one of the rock gnomes, And he has like a wild look to his eyes. And you hear him under his breath as you kind of like walk into the situation. Like Dan's leading with like, or sorry, Bjorn's leading with like the barrel crab, and as it steps inside, you just hear like he kind of like maybe is like looking off in different directions. And he kind of looks over and he goes, "Ah, yes, try the invention, launch, launch, launch!" And then everybody roll initiative because he's gonna immediately shoot crossbow bolts at all of you. So.
All right. Do you want to make sure we do this in order so they don't get lost in the Roll20 chat?
Yeah, let me get why is this? There it is. Turn order. Cool. Yeah, so UFO, roll me your initiative first.
All right. I got an 18.
It's plus Dex, right?
Yes. All right. Bjorn.
I got a 16.
16. Okay. And then Dr. Rivers, you got 19?
I got a 19.
Perfect. All right. And then Christian got a 3. Novo got a 3. And then Ashley, what did Naivara get?
Not much better.
6. Perfect.
Quick pause. Game Master,
Yes.
would you care to explain initiative? This is the first time we've entered into initiative.
I would
yes,
love
that's
to.
right.
So, initiative. So, essentially, when we were discussing turn order and stuff like that, when that was brought up earlier today, by Dalton. Dalton, that was you, right? Essentially, turn order is what we're doing right now. So, essentially, we're entering into combat. Now, you don't have to be in combat to do turn order. Essentially, what this means is that your initiative is a d20 roll with your dexterity modifier added to that. From there on, it determines who is going first to last. So, as you can see with everybody's rolls, Factor, who seems to be upon this crossbow-mounted turning machine, is going to take his turn first, followed by Dr. Rivers, Bjorn, UFO, Novo, and Naivara. Oh, wait, sorry. Naivara, then Novo. My bad. Okay.
Probably UFO, then Bjorn, right?
UFO. Oh my gosh, I am messing up the turn order. Okay, sorry. Factor, Dr. Rivers, UFO, Bjorn, Naivara, and Novo. It's been a minute. Hold on. Sorry, guys. But essentially, yeah, initiative is kind of determining your order. So having a high dexterity modifier, which means like dexterous is how fast you can kind of move, and how quickly. That's having a higher dexterity could mean that you go first before anybody else, but different character abilities also may give you advantage or do other stuff to make it so you can go ahead of everybody else. So, since you walked in to this crossbow machine, he's going to go ahead and take his turn. And Dan, I should probably send you the same stat block that I sent to Dalton. But while I'm doing that, I will help you out while we're doing combat and everything. Because basically, what this barrel crab has is an AC of 15 with 30 hit points. So that's going to be key for knowing when we enter into combat. So AC is armor class. That means typically how often or whether or not an enemy can hit you. So basically, this chair. So Factor pulls a lever and it shoots out the first crossbow at you. So let's see how much damage it's going to do, or if it hits. Roll 1d20. Sorry, I left my dice in the other room. And it has a +5 to hit.
Oh boy.
So it takes its first attack.
Oh.
So,
yeah, so I think 23 is a little bit higher than 15.
so it does hit you. Okay,
Hit
so let me roll
or
again.
hit the crab.
Oh, the crab. The crab. Sorry,
Okay.
it's the crab.
That's very
Key.
And then it does its damage of 1.
Ah.
It rolled a d10, so it does, and it rolled a 1 for its d10 of damage. So it does 1 piercing damage.
Nice.
All right, so let's move on. So I'm gonna do so he pulls a second lever and it rotates the crossbows around counterclockwise, and he pulls the same lever that he shot with the other one and pulls it again and it shoots out another one. Let's see if it hits. 22, I think, hits that 15. And it does 4 piercing damage. So
Not bad.
not bad. So that's its first attacks. Whoops. Its first couple attacks it shoots at you. And let's see here. That is its turn. So let's go on next to Dr. Rivers, who is third in line currently. So, just to explain real quick to people at home, while the crossbow person went first, NPCs and characters kind of interact differently than the players. The players typically, when combat is started, they get a main action, a bonus action, and their movement. And those 3 parts can be split up in any order, and even like you can move like a portion of your movement speed, then take a bonus action, move again, and then take your main action, or whatever you want to do with those 3 main things. Not every character has a bonus action. Usually those are spells or different things you can do. A lot of fighters will not be able to use their bonus actions a lot in turn. It's just a little extra thing that you can do. But a main action can do a bunch of different things. It's interacting with an item, it's helping an ally, it is attacking, it is spell casting, it's a bunch of different stuff. But, Justin, what is Dr. Rivers doing? Oh,
I have
sorry.
a quick question first.
Go ahead, Ashley.
What if a player wants to speak? Where does that fit into action, bonus action, movement?
Yeah, so a turn. Each one of these turns can be thought of as like 6 seconds going by, which means that like a lot of combat can go by really quickly, which I think kind of mimics real life in that kind of sense. It's very quick on the feet type stuff. So whenever it's your turn, you have 6 seconds of speech. That's how we typically use in that kind of time frame. So if you want to communicate information or kind of dictate different plans, unless you planned out beforehand, you get 6 seconds to communicate that to your party members. Yeah.
All right, right on. So with my 6 seconds of speech, I am going to say, well, I was going to say duck, and he's going to shoot over, I think, because it's all kind of small, right? So he can just see over everybody and cast Sacred Flame at the turret itself, at like the tower itself, not the little dude up on top. I'm gonna shoot like the tower itself.
Yeah. So let's see here. So the barrel crab, it's a large creature, so it can fit through here. I'm going to say it might be a bit difficult to kind of like shoot around the barrel crab.
Actually,
Oh, wait, no.
Sacred Flame.
You can hit stuff,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't go from Dr. Rivers. It like appears above. and
That's
goes straight
right.
down.
That's right.
Well, yeah,
That's a
that
really
is
cool
true.
feature.
The
So,
target gains no benefit from cover.
boom, there it is. So that's a really cool feature of this spell that clerics get. Their bread and butter, which is Sacred Flame, don't really have to worry about cover or anything. That's a really cool spell. So go ahead. What is the roll that they have to do?
So I will need a Dex saving throw from you, Spencer. DC 14.
DC 14.
For a crossbow platform that can't
when
move.
we say DC, streamers who are watching us, we are talking about a difficulty check. That's maybe an archaic term. But if you hear the term difficulty or DC, they are synonymous.
I actually never knew what DC stood for.
Oh,
it's an old term that stood for difficulty check.
So what dex modifier would a crossbow platform that's stationary have?
so I'm using the Rock Gnome's wisdom within within this. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a roll. So they have +0 to their wisdom. That sounds right. So let me roll a d20. Nope, that's a 2. I think they failed that.
I think they did. Cool. So he's going to take a d8 worth of radiant damage. 4. Not bad.
All right. Perfect. So you see like this holy flame kind of come down and hit this crossbow machine with radiant light. And you see it kind of like shake and rumble. And he just kind of like looks around and he goes, and he just keeps on moving levers and stuff like that. So. All right. Was there anything else you can do on your action or that you wanted to do?
That is my action. I'm not really super inspired to move because I don't want to get in from behind the
giant crab
machine protecting me from arrows.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna do just that.
All right, we're gonna go on to the next turn to UFO, but I did want to call out Christian. I saw you cracking up earlier. Did you see Dalton's comment in the Twitch chat? Is that where you're laughing at?
It was unrelated.
Oh, okay.
What was Dalton's comment?
Oh,
Dalton?
Black Souls Brown Boots is the name of Novo's next album.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, okay.
A reference to before our break when Novo spilled out a bottle of ink so he could listen through a door to gain a small bonus to his perception check to see what was going on the other side of the door, and I stepped in all the ink, and I have brown boots, but now they have black souls. I guess you had to be there.
Had to be there.
I love it. So, it is now UFO's turn. UFO, you have an action, a bonus action, and a movement that you can do. What would you like to do?
How did our not so friendly guy react to getting sacred flames? Like, did he say anything? Did he?
He keeps muttering, "Invention! Crossbow! Shoot!"
Okay. I'll shoot a firebolt at the crossbow machine.
All right, you're pretty small, so I imagine you kind of like peek under the crab and just pew.
Actually, I'll run through.
Okay.
And I'll get what sides of the machine have fired their arrows.
So it rotates counterclockwise. So if it rotates counterclockwise, it shot. It's probably the one to the west and to the south that are. It's to the west.
You want to go on its left side, Dalton.
Yeah. So I want to be like over here.
Yeah.
And I can move through stuff. Like thanks to being a halfling, I can like duck and dip and dodge through other people in spaces.
Don't forget dive.
Right, that too. And I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at the machine.
All right.
Which for me, so I conjure up a little bolt of flame. R1d20.
So it's a spell. Yeah.
Spell attack, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, viewers at home, the difference between Dalton's spell, UFO's Firebolt spell, and Justin's Sacred Flame spell is Sacred Flame is a spell check. So essentially, what you have to do as a DM is you have to roll a d20 for the NPC. Well, Dalton's UFO's spell Firebolt is a spell attack. So you treat that one much like you would treat a weapon attack, which is you rolling the d20. Sometimes that can be confusing about like, wait, when do I roll the dice? When do you roll the dice? So usually if it's a spell check, the enemy has to do it, whereas it's spell if it has attack, it's the player rolling. So that's why Dalton rolled a d20 and added his modifier to it, which ended up being a 12, which unfortunately its AC is higher than that.
No.
So I would imagine that maybe it went wide or something like that. Like all the tumbling and rolling, you like went a little bit too high or anything.
Yeah.
So. And I believe that's your turn, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bjorn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna immediately use my 6 seconds of speech. Just be like, "What? Why are you shooting at us? We just talked to your friends in the other room. What the heck?"
We'll see if it has a response on its turn, but until then, are you going to
Oh.
command the crab?
Yeah. So I'm gonna hop up to the go. Wait, how close am I to this thing?
You're
Am I
within
able?
5 feet, yeah.
Okay. Am I able to like kind of like hit it with my axe?
You're inside of it. It's like a hatch, so you would have to like get out of the machine and then like whack at it.
Oh, okay. Well, then I wanna hit the thing with the crab.
Okay. So
I
it
wanna
has
hit it
a
with its crab claws.
yeah, it has a +2 to its attack. So just roll a d20 and add +2 to it.
Okay. All right. What about a 15? Is a 15 hit?
15, that hits! Go ahead and roll your damage, which for this crab, it's going to be 2d4 piercing damage. And technically it's grappled, but it's a stationary object, so it's not going to move anyways. But
It's been grappled. Wait, could it be like one of my claws is like preventing it from like rotating?
um
Ooh. What does
let's
grappled say?
let's see. A grappled creature's speed becomes 0. So this is a condition. D&D, there's a lot of different conditions, from deafened to frightened to incapacitated. Grappled. So whenever like something happens and you activate something and it says like, oh, it's grappled, oh, it's frightened, it's good to refresh yourself and look up like what specifically it says. So for example, grappled. A grappled creature's speed becomes 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. Incapacitated means you can't basically you can't take actions or reactions. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler or the grappling effect, such as when a creature is held away by the Thunderwave spell. Now, I'm gonna say no, because grappled specifically just says its speed becomes 0. And there are other conditions that say like, oh, it can't attack or it has disadvantage. Like if it would have imposed restrained, like that does attack rolls have against the creature have advantage and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. So I'm gonna say for the grappled condition, we're gonna play this as it can't move, which it wasn't gonna like it can still turn and do attacks, if that makes sense. Do you guys feel like that's fair?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I rolled the 2d4 and did 3 damage.
3 damage. All right, so let's see here. 8. Cool. All right, so you sink some damage into it as you like the grapple it. It's like rotating and like kind of like trying to. It's like shooting stuff, and you're like with your mechanical crab like grabbing it and like trying to like do some damage and everything. So yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Naivara, you were kind of trailing in the back. What is your character doing?
So I have a question before I take my turn. What can I reasonably see of what's going on ahead of me?
So you see a gigantic crab, like mechanical crab. You probably see it like grappling a structure in front of you. It's a little hard to see over it, but you did hear like shouts and cries and stuff, and you did hear Bjorn yell out like, "Why are you attacking us? I just want to talk." Type, or we talked to your friends up there. So
Okay. Um I am not going to metagame, and I am going to use my 6 seconds to speech to yell out and be like, "What's going on up there?" And since it's a narrow hallway, there's not really much I can do. I might like try to push Novo a couple feet forward so we can move up a little bit since UFO left some space, but that's
yeah,
gonna be the rest of my turn. But can I ready an action?
yeah. What is ready in action, Ashley? Can you describe that to us?
I think so. Um, readying an action is something that you can do on your turn instead of actually taking an action. And basically, it's saying, I would like to do X when Y happens, like under a certain set of conditions. So, an example would be like, I am readying my crossbow and I would like to shoot at the first enemy that's hostile to my party. So, what I would like to do is it would be readying a cantrip. Is that something I'm allowed to do?
Sure can.
So I would like to ready Vicious Mockery. Um, if and when I figure out who's attacking us, and if they're gonna keep attacking us. Is that specific enough?
Yeah, I think so. Basically, if it you already heard that like something is happening up ahead and there's like some like there's attacks coming at you. So you're basically readying your action to prepare a cantrip to fire at whatever might be attacking your party members. What cantrip is that?
Vicious Mockery.
Vicious Mockery. Okay, perfect. So you're readying Vicious Mockery to see if it does any damage. So um while you're readying that action, would somebody like to explain what metagaming is? Because I like what Ashley was saying. So yeah, Justin.
Oh yeah, so metagaming is when you use knowledge that you have, but your character wouldn't. That is metagaming. Um, specifically, well, specifically to gain advantage in a situation within the game. So
I think
like what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, I think a really good example is what happened earlier when like everyone was around here, or I'm trying to ping, but around like the opening to the cave,
Hmm.
and when Novo and Navarro were trying to have the aside, um, and like they were talking, right, and they were saying like, oh yeah, let's use the rest of our party as meat shields. Now me, Dalton, and so Bjorn, Ufo, and Chris Rivers like didn't hear that, right? Me, Dalton, and Justin heard them say that, but our characters didn't hear Nivara and Novo say that. So we can't act in game as if we had heard that because we didn't hear that. So you almost have to pretend that you didn't gain that knowledge.
Yeah.
You have to pretend that you didn't gain that knowledge. You have to um and it's also like you have to be like, I don't know. Like you have to try, I would say like try to avoid like, oh, like what were you guys talking about? Like, like for you
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
would you really have a reason to be suspicious of them? You know what I mean? Like of what they're
Right.
talking about, right? So that's metagaming as an
Yeah.
example of.
Yeah, so exactly. So I think it really goes into the role playing side of your characters and everything, and just kind of acting as your character in the moment. Certainly there might be benefits to like hearing or knowing about things your character wouldn't know, but some of the fun that can happen is by playing your character true to themselves and acting out as they would in a certain situation. It might lead to interesting story moments or future things that happen later on, and a lot of people get enjoyment out of that. Not everything is about, shall we say, min-maxing. There are certain things that happen with that, but you can certainly max out certain situations, but still by playing by the rules of your character. So, and with that, so Ashley is readying in action with Nivara. So, readying in action, she is going to use her reaction. So, one of the things I didn't describe during your turn, you have an action, bonus action, movement, but when it's not your turn, you have one reaction. This can be used for a variety of different things, different effects. Most of the time, it's for something called an opportunity attack, which we'll address when it happens. But she is using her reaction to prepare a spell to see if she can see if the gnome crossbow machine is attacking her party member. So we'll get to that in a second. Novo, you get a few nudges from your sister Nivara, and it is now your turn.
Sure. So I assume I'm operating off of basically the same information as her. This is right ahead of her. Am I able to? I'm medium sized. So am I able to get around Chris Rivers and proceed forward to see if I can get a closer eye on what is happening.
Yeah, you can definitely move through another friendly party member space without any issue.
Okay. Um, does that include the the barrel crab as well?
Yeah, yeah, you can keep moving forward into like this
Or
zone.
am I able to see past him at least at this point?
He still takes up a lot of space. I would argue because it's just barely squeezing through these
Okay.
these 5 foot wide spaces. It's still very hard to see. So
Okay.
yeah,
Um, am I able to get past this
yes,
point? Okay.
yeah, yeah. You can kind of like
Okay,
duck
that's
under it.
so let's see here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
And to everybody at home, each square on a
Okay.
grid map is 5 feet.
Yes, and my speed is 30.
Yeah.
So that means I can technically move 6 squares within my turn. Yeah, so I'm gonna move here, and then I'm
Yeah.
going to well, I would like to try and cast Sleep.
Oh,
However, one of Sleep's components, the material components, I believe, is requires me to have a pinch of fine sand, rose petals, or cricket, which I do not have any of. So, could you tell me more about components and why that is keeping me from casting this spell, Game
ab-
Master?
absolutely. And by the end of this, you'll find out that you can still cast that spell. So, um, components are a way of kind of like in the D&D universe, it's things you're supposed to have to be able to cast your magic. It's not just like you'll see on the breakdown of spells, there are some components that are verbal, some are semantic, and some are what's the last one? Crap, why am I blanking on this?
Material.
Material.
Material, semantic, and verbal. Yeah.
Yes. So, typically, you need items, components to cast spells, but you can swap out components with a spell focus, which you should have in your possession as a bard, which probably is going to be your magical floating organ. Uh, Now, there are some spells that you can't swap out components for, and that's if it uses up that item. Like there are some spells that you have to have a diamond and it consumes that diamond. So if a spell specifically says it consumes that item, you do have to have that item. For everything else, as long as you have a spell component pouch or a spell focus, like a wand or a staff, or in your case as a bard, your instrument, you can cast that spell without needing the required components because those items, none of it says like consumes the item next to those, correct?
It does not.
So there you go. You can use your magical floating organ to
I
play
will,
the to yeah.
And
I'll
it
play a little lullaby to,
Yeah.
to try and put this gnome asleep.
real quick, it doesn't matter in this instance, but it's not whether or not the material
It
component is
consumes?
consumed, it's
Yeah.
whether or not it has a price attached to it.
Ah, okay. So there we go.
Gotcha.
So like
Um,
some spells will say like you need a diamond worth 100 gold to cast it. Then you would need to
Mhm.
actually physically have that diamond. But since
so
you don't, since the sand doesn't cost an amount that matters, you can use your instrument.
sure. And one would assume that a spell requiring a diamond that costs 100 gold would be quite powerful, and that's why it is limited to that.
Yep. You
Um,
won't really have to worry about that till later on.
yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you. I also learned something here too.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
bringing it
so
up.
this is definitely an interesting one with a good amount of text. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast sleep on the gnome here to try and get him to stop operating the crossbow contraption that I now see before me.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So what does sleep entail? What happens with that?
So it can send multiple creatures into a slumber. So I roll 5d8s. The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. So creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range, which the range is 90 feet. So it's got quite the ability to target at range. They are affected in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring already unconscious creatures.
Boom.
So, yeah.
All right,
So-
you got to roll those d8s for us.
So, of course, I would just select, the middle point of this room. That's
Yep.
where he's at. So, it doesn't matter too much because it's just one gnome. So, and I have no modifiers for that, correct?
What? For
For the
sleep?
spell. Yeah.
No.
No, you would just
so-
roll the 5d8, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. It would state otherwise.
Yes, exactly.
All right. That is 22.
Yeah. So, this gnome had 7 HP. So,
Okay.
and is it just enemies or is it creatures?
Creatures.
All right. And what's the radius?
20 feet.
20 feet. So, what's
Wait,
their... Hold on. Let me see everybody's HP.
I
Okay.
guess I wasn't thinking that one through. Oh no.
So there's 15 more HP to deal out. So,
I think it's important to note here. I want to address certain features of the sleep spell.
yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
So it'll be it's a 20-foot radius centered on the goblin.
No.
right?
Yeah.
The gnome.
Yeah, the gnome. Sorry, not goblin. So everybody within 20 feet, starting with the creature that has the lowest hit points, each
In
creature
ascending
affected
order.
by this spell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
actually, this might not even affect him, and you've accidentally put some of the lower HP members of our party to sleep.
Well, luckily, I've written down everybody's AC, HP, and passive perception, their PP, before thank you. Before this all started. So I know everybody's health, and nobody had health lower than him. But as the gnome as he's like pulling levers and he's getting ready to do his like next like volley of arrows or bolts, and he goes, and he just collapses at at the head of this contraption. But as he does, UFO, who has 9 HP, or sorry, 8 HP, right? You have 8 health. Also, just like slumps down in the back. Do you want to describe how UFO falls asleep, Dalton?
I mean, the same way any normal person would fall asleep, right?
Yeah, just
Loud.
closes
Just
his
like-
eyes. Yeah.
Like, do you feel sleepy and you start to lay down and like make a bed for yourself and go to sleep, or do you just kind of pass out?
Nah, it just falls down.
So yeah, combat is over. Because sleep lasts for an hour, right?
I think you can wake somebody up.
You can wake. Yeah,
It lasts for a minute, Spencer.
Minute.
It's
Okay.
a minute. Yeah.
So combat has ended, and you have a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and start a timer. Would you guys like to describe what you guys are doing?
I am gonna.
So,
Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
I am gonna come forward, and I'm gonna be like, "What the heck happened?" Because I couldn't see anything. And I imagine the party members are gonna tell me.
What happened?
Yes, and I'm gonna turn to Nova, and I'm gonna be like, "Did you put one of our party members to sleep again?"
So what happened was we had this gnome firing
30 seconds.
in all cardinal directions at us, and it's the best that I could do.
So
I
at the
smack
beginning, I
UFO to
kinda
wake him
wanted-
up.
20 seconds.
Yeah, this guy's gonna wake up too. We gotta disable the machine, or we're gonna get fired upon.
Chris Rivers is going to go
Hey.
grab the gnome and
10
just
seconds?
hold on to him.
Yeah.
I was sorry at the beginning of all that. I was trying to say something. Sorry, I was
Sorry.
gonna yell to Chris Rivers to go run and grab the gnome friends real quick, like one of
Done.
the other kitchen. Yeah, I was gonna like yell back and be like, Doc, go get one of them. Go get one
Okay.
of them right now.
So instead of grabbing the gnome out of the chair, Dr. Rivers is going back to the kitchen.
Sprint off is going to use his action to dash and head back to the kitchen so he can get.
Do we have time for that? Wait.
And
Does anybody
20.
have rope?
30.
I have rope, and
Tie him up!
I like hop out of the crab and like tie him up.
Okay. So you're able to do that. So that only, I mean, it was a minute. So like you were able to hop out of the crab and tie him up just fine in time. So Factor wakes up and he's like struggling. He's like, let me out. I want to get back in. And
I'm just
meanwhile,
gonna be
Dr.
like-
Rivers, you get to the people. But sorry, go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say, hey, why are you shooting at us, bud?
But machine, test it. Shoot.
What? Why at us? Why not test it at like a piece of wood or something?
Live target.
Oh, I thought you guys were friendly.
Put me back
All right,
in.
well, no, we're gonna keep you sitting here until we get one of your friends.
So Dr. Rivers, you go up to the kitchen and try to plead your case. Go ahead and what do you say?
Hey, how's it going? How's the mushroom stuff in? My little friend?
Turn around once again, trying to stuff the mushroom in the wrong way. Goes,
Okay.
oh, hi doctor, hi doc, what's up, doc?
Well, so you forgot, you know how we're looking for fizzle sticks and wubba
Oh yeah,
Dab-
Fibble
Dab- Dab-
Stabber and Dabbledop.
Dabbledop. Yeah. You didn't tell me that there was a crossbow wielding maniac in one of the rooms on the way there.
Oh, Factor, he's crazy.
Yeah. Can you tell him to stop shooting at us? Can you come with me?
I'm
I
really
need you to-
busy right now. I told you I got like 20 more of these things to do.
Oh my god. He looks around the room. None of you are going to come with me, are you? You just crossbow wielding maniac in the other room, and you're just going to make mushroom things.
Yeah, probably the girl on top of like the roller at the top there, who's like doing stuff. She goes, "Yep, that's Factor for you," and then they all keep doing their things that they're doing.
Chris Rivers' jaw just drops. Hey, you go, all right, well, fine. You know, I'm taking some of this wine. He grabs 2 bottles of wine, and then he just runs out the door. Taking these, and he runs back.
Okay. They don't really have bottles. They have barrels.
Barrels.
They
He
have
tries
cups.
to push
There's
one. He tries to push one, realizes it's not going to go through the door. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm coming back for this later. He kind of rolls it forward and runs back.
Okay, so all right, so let's go back. Novo, Nivara, and Ufo. Ufo, you were asleep, but you wake up around the time that Factor wakes up. So what's kind of going on with you? I think Nivara, did you run over to slap him awake?
I did about
Okay.
20 seconds before the spell ended, so it was kind of futile, but
Okay.
his
Yeah.
cheek is stinging.
Ufo wakes up and like shakes himself awake, and as he kind of like snorts awake, you see like sparks come out of his nose. And it's like, what just happened? Did we win?
Yes, you did great.
Oh, I thought so. I mean, I got that firebolt off.
Yes, you did great. Great job. Great
Okay.
work.
Awesome. Is the crossbow thing, is that broken?
Doesn't look like it's broken. We tied up Factor actually, the guy who was shooting at.
You tied him up. He's still alive.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. And I walk up to Factor.
Yeah.
It's like, did you build that crab thing? Those crab things?
What? No. I built that, and he like points his head because he can't move his arms,
Mm-hmm.
and he points to the crossbow machine.
Can
I want to
you?
break the crossbow machine.
UFO seems very disappointed about like him not building the crab thing. It's like, could you tell me where the person who built the crab thing is?
I'll tell you if you untie me and put me back in the chair. And as he says that, probably Bjorn is taking a whack at the machine. So how are you attacking it?
Tell us. I just want to I want to smack it with the crab claw thing. Actually, no, I'm out of it, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm out of
you
the
can
crab
use your
thing.
axe now.
I want to use my axe, and I just want to. And I'm assuming I hit it because we're not in
Yeah.
combat, right?
I mean, yeah, we're out of combat. You can hit it. Just roll damage.
Oh wait, hold on. Plus, I gotta add in my strength, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be 8.
8. Okay, so 8 in total. Yeah.
Wait,
One
is
of the
it strength and proficiency, or just it's just strength? Never mind.
just strength. So proficiency is
so it'd be
added
8.
when you're making the hit.
To hit.
Right.
Right.
So proficiency for viewers at home, think of proficiency as like how well you can do something, but not necessarily how strong or how hard something is hit. So proficiency is how well you might be able to hit a target, but only your strength is like how much damage you do.
Do you want to take a quick side note to explain, like ranged versus melee weapons and how that works?
Sure. Would somebody like to explain range versus melee and how that all works?
Well, range versus melee is pretty simple. It's
Yeah.
just, are you hitting something up close? Stabbing, whacking with axes, clubbing, etc., bludgeoning. And then range is, are you shooting a bow or crossbow or launching one of your spells at it? The real difference, I think, that maybe we're getting at here is a lot of the up close weapons, especially the big heavy ones, end up being strength related, which you would add in, and you can think about that as how heavy, how sharp, how much damage is just going in, like when you hit something with an axe, right?
Yeah.
And then the more like things like rapiers, all of the monk weapons that you kind of associate, those can all get used with dex, which is kind of maybe thinking about how like well you find. I always thought about was like how well it reached a vital organ, how easily it reached a vital organ, and that was like where most of your damage was coming from.
Yeah.
So can you explain the roles for both of those?
Sure.
Well, oh yeah, go for it, Sense.
Oh yeah, so like melee attacks uses your strength. So whenever you roll an attack, you add your strength plus your proficiency. That's the first roll. It's the roll to hit. But the second one that you do is you take the damage die from that weapon and you roll and you add your strength modifier to it. Now or dex, yeah. If it's a ranged weapon, you use dex with it. So like a bow, or like if it's a thrown weapon, you still use your strength, I believe. But if it's a finesse weapon, you can use strength or dexterity with it. So that's the main differences. Generally, you can look at melee weapons as strength weapons and like range weapons as dexterity-based weapons. But there's definitely room in between with different types and everything. So, do you think that accurately describes everything, Ashley? All right, perfect. So, Bjorn takes a whack at the crossbow contraption, and one of the crossbows breaks. Like, there's only 3 working ones on there now.
With the 8 damage.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Factor screams, and while he's screaming, Novo, you what have you been doing this entire time? You casted sleep, put everybody to sleep, and then Factor's all tied up and stuff like that. So
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just seeing what Novo was doing.
Sorry, I was thinking about something you said and got lost in it. Yeah, so I at this point, let's see here.
So Bjorn took a whack at the crossbow machine. It broke one of the
Yeah.
crossbows.
Well, and
Yeah.
I wanted to. Oh, sorry. I wanted to say to Factor, tell us where the guy is who made these crab barrels, or I'm gonna hit it again.
He's probably screaming, "No! No! Stop hitting it! Stop hitting it! No!" He's screeching with pain as if he is being hurt.
So upon observing this, I tell Bjorn, don't listen to him. He is quite infatuated with this machine that he's built, and we can see that they are quite clever in what they. I mean, you've taken a liking to this crab barrel machinery yourself. Surely he could. I mean, he could even retrofit what you have already to benefit us further in combat. I see him valuable, and if we destroy his invention, we won't be able to gain anything.
And as you finish that sentence, he goes, "Yes, shoot! Put me in! Shoot! Shoot! Kill! I mean, shoot!"
Yeah, I don't think we're getting anywhere with this guy.
Or, he could just be out for blood.
Yeah, Novo, I hear what you're saying, and I think you're right, but I don't think this is the guy that you're right about. And I just take my axe and I just get a big old swing at the crossbow thing again.
Roll damage.
Is this like a repeatable crossbow, or is it just like a one and done on each of these 4?
So you can see that when it rotates, it starts, like, how the mechanisms work out, it reloads it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's 10 damage.
Yeah. Another crossbow breaks, and Factor screams out in pain as if he is being hurt as well.
Is Doc there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doc, you come back into the scene.
They're not gonna. Oh my god! What? Okay, hold on. All right. No blood. All right. This is bad, though. Why are you breaking his machine, Bjorn?
He literally shot at us with it. Like, he's gonna shoot at us again with it. Everything he says, he's just like, yes, shoot, kill. I asked him why he did it. His only reasoning was that we were live targets. I don't, we can't, like, we want their help. We can't kill him. We can't do anything about him. I mean, he's gonna get, like, are these ropes really gonna stop him for that long? He's gonna wiggle out of them. So let's just break the machine, and then he can always rebuild it,
Well, maybe. Let's...
If I get shot with a crossbow bolt, it's on you. And my machine has already taken 5 damage.
I accept that. Factor. What if I told you I wanted you to build a much bigger version of this? For a very large live target. One that would be very difficult to hit.
Yes.
Okay. I won't tell you how to build it. I can't tell you how to build it if you kill me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So are you not going to shoot at us if we let you loose?
Yes.
If you let us loose, I'll let him kill you and break your machine.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So if I untie you, you're not going to make me regret it, right?
His eyes go wide, and he goes, "Yes."
See, now I don't.
He's gonna make you regret it.
Hey, right?
I just pick him.
He's
So
gonna
he's
make
little,
us
right? I
regret
can
it.
just pick him up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna pick him up and be like, "You're coming with us," and I proceed to just go this way.
Careful, he may bite.
If he bites me, I punch him.
Yeah, he's
I want to
squirming.
get back in the crab thing and follow along.
Squirming's fine. I'm biting is the issue. Bites me. I'm
He looks
kidding.
like a biter. Have you seen
He does
this
look
guy?
like a biter.
Definitely a biter.
Yeah, can I hold him like so? He's tied up, right? Can I hold him like maybe like a big squirmy suitcase?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
If you do put any hands near his face, he will try to bite them.
All right. Yeah. After learning that, I hold him kind of like out to the side like this.
Yeah, he's kicking his little feet.
Come on.
So everybody, it seems like most of the party's moving down. Was there anything else that anybody else wanted to do before you left this room?
Is there anything else in the room?
It doesn't appear so.
Can I roll perception?
Absolutely.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Eh.
UFO and Novo, did you do everything you wanted to in this room as well?
Yep.
Okay.
I actually would like to.
Ashley, you don't see anything else.
Yeah, I figured.
So I would like to, I guess, investigate the contraption to see if there's any way I could utilize. Like, are these just crossbows attached to a rotating pillar that I could basically just use as a crossbow, or that we could use, to to put on this crab
Go for
to
it.
benefit us in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. You can make a roll for that. Are you using investigation to try to see if... Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I wanna yell over to UFO. Hey, since we're already kind of here with this thing, did you want to pilot it? Did you want a chance?
The crab thing?
The crab. Yeah, you want to spin in this thing?
No, you can keep going. I mean, there's the other one back there. I was probably just gonna take that one on our way out.
Yeah, cool. I just wanted to see if you wanted to steer it. If you wanted to test drive.
So, Christian, you rolled a 12, and a lot of this just looks like weird levers and pulleys, and some of the things you're like, okay, this connects to this, and other things you're like, I don't even know how this is jerry rigged to nonsense. But for the most part, from what you can tell, they are just normal crossbows loosely fitted to like a pole in the center. So with like spending like maybe like a minute or two, you can probably undo a crossbow from this.
What type of crossbow are they?
They are heavy crossbows.
They're heavy.
You want one. You know you want one.
I'm proficient in hand crossbow. But I feel like we could use this at least to maybe we could have him try
Attach
and
it
put
to
it
the
on the
crab.
crab. I mean, I would like to take one off if I can.
Okay.
Take
yeah.
the time to do so, yeah.
You take the time. Are the other party members gonna like keep moving forward while Novo's doing this?
We can
Yeah.
Doc's going forward. He's just seeing where this path goes a little bit more.
All right, so
and
Doc is
Bjorn's going
taking...
with him.
I'm gonna wait.
Kind of struggling with the whole time anyway.
All right, so Doc and Bjorn, while Novo's back there undoing a crossbow. Hold on, I'm gonna give you control of Factor real quick, so you can move him along. Controlled by Justin. There we go. All right, so there you go. You can kind of bring him along if you want. Let me put 7 HP on him so we can keep track in case he gets hurt. All right, little Factor's coming along. All right, so as you move forward, you see that this one entrance, it like opens up, and you can see the little mushroom islands that you saw before. And further along, you get to see kind of like 2 other hallways.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I want to just keep going left.
Yeah,
I want to keep
I'm just
going
gonna
this
keep
way.
going. I'm not
Cool.
actually. I don't think they're gonna get ambushed. That's why I'm not really worried. So, when we get to this little, do we see anything further down this hallway right here?
You sure
Oh.
do. So
that's big.
in here, you see This room contains 12 40-gallon barrels set into wide alcoves. Each barrel is secured by a wooden brace. And then, yeah, the barrels to the south alcove have been tapped with wooden spigots. So, yeah. The ones to the south are the ones that are currently open, while the other ones to the north and east are just normal barrels. So,
I'm gonna go see what's in the barrels.
to the south, or which ones?
The
These
south,
ones,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you getting out and like kind of like twisting the spigot?
Yeah, we'll get out, walk out.
Yeah. Testing the barrels. 2 of them are half full and 2 of them are nearly empty, and they are full of mushroom wine. And after you have tested that, that's when Novo gets the crossbow off, and you now have a heavy crossbow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to drink the wine.
You do so. You
You
start
just
drinking.
like stick in your mouth, like right underneath, just like oh.
Yeah. It's kind of like a game of slap the bag, but slap the barrel.
Do you slap the barrel after you take a big chug?
I just keep slapping it. Just keep slapping. One of the ones that's like almost empty, I finish it.
Okay. Oh, that's almost empty? Okay, give me a constitution check.
Oh. Fun.
Oh.
Good
The
thing
room
I
just
have
starts
a
to
+3.
breathe a little bit.
Good thing I have a +3 con. We can handle her.
You're a dwarf. Oh,
Mushroom
it's poison
wine.
too, so you have advantage.
Just like Pop used to make.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, because that's a dwarf
that's
thing,
right.
right? Yeah.
I do. That is right. It was a dwarf thing, so I get to do this twice.
Alcohol is
Yeah.
considered a poison mechanically, so
Okay. Well, 15.
you're fine. You chug down the rest of that barrel of wine, and you're like, yeah, that was some tasty ass wine.
It was great.
I mean,
All right.
maybe you say
Back in
that
the
now.
crab.
At the beginning of the spigot, it tasted kind of like mushrooms, like straight up mushrooms, but by the end of it, it just tasted like
It's
wine.
pretty good, man.
This is
I
pretty
like
good.
the fridge, man. I was like, that tastes pretty good now.
I want to get back in and hop in the crab, and I'm just gonna start drunk driving this crab.
So it was you were already squeezing it through these hallways, and so like since you're like a little bit over the edge, it starts scraping the sides of the walls now as you're moving. Is the rest of the party joining our party members down south?
Like
Yeah,
to?
you guys catch up, right?
All right, you guys catch up just fine. So
Yeah.
you guys are moving forward to the next area, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. All right,
I'm assuming that the party just tells us that there's a room full of barrels in here.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of wine in that other room. We'll come back to it, I think.
Okay.
Ah.
I'd like a glass before we leave.
Yeah.
So, as you guys move forward and you enter the cave ahead, the female dwarf up at the top to the left here, or on the
Gnome?
western side. No, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. We were drinking and everything. I got dwarves on my mind. The female gnome yells out, and nobody speaks gnomish, right?
That's a hard
Um,
pass for me, dog.
Nope.
I do not.
Okay. I didn't think so. So she calls out in a language nobody understands. Just up. But immediately after her, the male gnome right next to her yells out, "Who goes there?" in common.
Oh, it's I, Dr. Rivers. I go here, and this is Factor. He tried to kill me. Thought you might want to know about this.
Tor?
You have some sort of workplace violence.
Oh, that cheeky little one. He's always up to no good with his crossbows.
No
Okay.
good.
Yeah, he kind of shot me. But
Really,
or
like,
shot at me.
passive on this whole attempted murder thing. I'm not happy about. But
Yeah,
That's fine. Are
I
you guys
really-
in charge here?
Ula, or sorry, the female gnome calls out in a weird language and just says a bunch of garbled junk and like keeps going on and takes a bow. And then the one next to her goes, "This is Ula. I am Pog. We are the god of Gnomon God."
Oh, okay, cool. I bow.
I
Very
curtsy.
well met.
As a noble, I also recognize the the whatever, and I might be dumb, but as a noble, I recognize the situation and also bow.
As
We
do I.
we were told you can help us.
Ula speaks out in another jarble mess, just speaking in gnomish all over the place. And Pog goes, help you? How can we help you?
We were told that there was something weird going on. It might be related to a dragon that we've seen in the area, and that gnomes are talented in magic and engineering, and that you might be able to help us rid Phandalin of this dragon. We are
Ula,
also looking for Dabalab and Fizzlesticks.
Ula speaks out in garble, but goes like, Fibble step, dabble dop, and then Pog goes, "Oh, you speak of Fibblestib and Dabbledop. Yes, yes. Well, they're up ahead, but we are under strict orders right now. We will not let anyone pass. There is a shape changer afoot, and we think that you might be shape changers. You
That's
are
fair.
not allowed to pass until you prove you are not shape changers."
Okay. Well,
I
I'm gonna
read
not
that.
turn into a frog right now. Does that prove it? And I'll go. See, can't do it.
Hold on, Ashley. Is your camera working okay?
Oh, she sent a message that she's having a power supply issue. So
Oh no.
she'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, that messes up all of our screens. Do we want to take a quick 5-minute break while we get everything situated, or
The show is up in about 19 minutes, so that
okay?
Yeah. So let's press on and trust that Ashley will get back in just a second.
Okay. I think the bigger issue is that all of our camera placements are all over the place now.
Oh,
Like
well,
I think I'm in Justin's place. Justin is in.
I think it'll
I'm
be
not
all right.
bothering
Let's
now.
just
We're
try and
just gonna
press
far
on.
off.
Okay. All right. We'll press on. We'll press on.
I
Okay.
am now UFO.
I'm
You are
Bjorn.
Ufo.
Gonna smack it with my axe. Listen to
Mhm.
my song. It's my
Dalton,
professional wrestling axe smacking song.
it looks like the stream also is having an issue where all of our cameras are frozen.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
because Ashley left.
Oh.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Oh,
All
can
right.
they hear audio right now?
I think they can hear us.
still have audio.
Yeah, audio seems to be still working.
All right. Well,
Dalton,
everybody,
you're
you're just gonna
working.
have to use your imaginations.
Yeah. Hey,
there we go.
Ashley's back. Yay.
Sorry,
Okay.
pad was gonna die.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I think Dalton's getting us back on track as far as getting queued up where we need to be. That we're having with the gnomes now.
Okay.
And for the last 15 minutes, a podcast.
We should be good.
Okay, good. All right, back in action. Ula and Pog are at the top here. Ula only speaks in Gnomish. Pog is responding to your questions. And Justin, you were inquiring about seeking their help, and they
Yeah.
told you that they're under strict orders to not let anyone pass because there's a shape changer on the loose. And you responded with,
I'm going to not turn into a frog right now. Watch me. And I go and I squinch my face up and I act like I'm trying to do something really hard.
yeah.
And then I just shrug and go, see, I can't become anything.
Make a
regular guy.
persuasion check.
All right. Oh no.
Ula
Dr.
goes,
Rivers is not a likable man.
yeah. Ula points at you and just starts yelling at you. And then Pod goes, oh, I do say that was not very impressive at all. I mean, a shape changer can control when they want to change into things. So if it didn't want to turn into a frog, it wouldn't have to. I don't think so.
Yeah, that tracks.
Can I do like an Arcana check or some kind of check to see what I know about shape changers to see if I could prove we aren't shape changers?
Yes, absolutely.
Would that be Arcana?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
If you want to make the roll too, Christian, I would allow Novo
No,
to
I
make
rolled
a
pretty.
similar
I
roll.
rolled pretty low.
Is Novo trying out as well?
I will do
So you
do
can roll a
so.
d20 plus 5 because in a help check, as long as you're both proficient in the skill, you use the highest modifier but get advantage.
Yep.
Oh, you have
Yes.
+5, UFO?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you're helping.
yeah, I
so
see,
I'm gonna
okay.
have advantage then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my second roll was a little bit higher.
All right. Well, shape chamber. There's all sorts of shape changers out there. You know, there's doppelgangers. There's changelings. There's all sorts of stuff. So, so you're just trying to figure out if there's a way to prove that you're not a shape changer.
Yeah. Anything UFO could recall about any sort of like commonality or something between shapeshifters.
Yeah, like put a hot copper wire in the blood. Does it jump out?
Well, that's what he's thinking. He's heard stories about something that happened in a cold winter region, and he's got a knife ready to like spill blood.
I fucking love the thing. So, Dalton, you get an inspiration point for that.
That was Justin brought up the thing. I mean, I was also thinking the thing, but Justin brought it up first.
Justin gets that inspiration point then. How about that? Because sharing is caring. Unfortunately, the roll wasn't very high. And Christian, I appreciate you rolling, but we were doing UFO's advantage and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I'm not.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to roll too. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, it's okay. Yeah, nothing's really coming to mind. To get past these guards, you guys might have to think of something else.
Hey.
Do they?
What do you? Hey,
I was just gonna say,
are we huddling? All right, what do we do?
Yeah.
You guys are huddling together.
We'll get right back to you.
Yeah, it's just us.
And,
We're just like this. All right,
I like to think that the crab like rotates around. Bjorn opens up the hood and kind of leans over to the group.
Everybody, I have an idea. It's tricky, might work. And I turn to the two of them, right? I turn to the two of them and say, what if one of the two of you were the shapeshifter?
Ah! Aha! How the turntables.
Yeah, they might know some ways, though, of proving.
Yeah, can you guys prove to us that you aren't a shapeshifter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should ask them to prove first. That's a good idea. Remember, I'm wasted right now. I'm just gonna be like, Wolfo's here with the big brain activities, as always.
All right, so you guys are gonna turn around and you're gonna say to them, "How can you prove you're not the shapeshifter?"
Yeah. I wanna know you them.
All right, who is saying this? Is UFO saying that to them? All right, persuasion check for sure.
Okay.
Flipping it around, going on the offensive. I like it.
UFO can't roll today.
Oof.
All right, so after UFO like talks about that,
yeah,
I want to just yell out as well.
You're garbled.
Yeah. If you're not shapeshifters, do it. Do it.
So you're helping UFO.
Yeah.
Okay, you're garbled.
Call that help.
Your garbled mess tries to help out UFO. UFO, do you want to roll again? Wait, who has the higher persuasion modifier?
Not
That's
me.
plus- Mine's just +1.
Okay,
You're
Go
trained
again.
in persuasion.
I like how everybody but the bards are talking to these people right now.
We're just watching the dumpster
You
fire
know,
go on in front of us.
I tried to help.
A 5? Is that your second roll?
Yeah.
5.
Prove it now, James. Just prove it now. Don't do it. Do it.
You won't do it. You won't do it.
You won't do it.
Ula starts yelling at you guys again. Just starts yelling at Gnomish and you, and Paul goes, "Clearly this man is intoxicated."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
shapeshifters. Everybody knows shapeshifters can't get drunk.
Yeah.
Naivara?
I am gonna like push ahead of everyone and kind of shove them all behind me,
Yeah.
and I am going to deeply like curtsy, and I am gonna say, I am so sorry for my comrades. You are very correct. Bjorn here is quite intoxicated.
Yeah, that I am.
You go back in the crab, Bjorn.
Come here,
Okay.
buddy. Come here.
Just get back in there. Shut the hatch. I'm gonna take a nap.
And I turn to them and I tell them, my name is Naivara. This is my party. We are on a mission from Phandalin. We are trying to warn you guys that there's dragon around wreaking some havoc. 2, we would like to bargain for some magic, some weapons, anything we can use to help defeat said dragon. We would also like to not get shot in the process by what was the
Oh, Factor?
we would also like to not
Yeah.
get shot in the process by Factor or other people like Factor.
Factor tries to kick Dr. Rivers.
Ah!
Um,
Whap him on the head.
I
Like
can
a-
assure you we are not shapeshifters. If there's any way that we can prove that to you, we'd be happy to do so.
Make a persuasion check, Ashley, for Naivara. Novo, are you coming in to help your twin?
Yeah, I would just like to ask, what can we do to ease your minds about the situation?
Okay, cool. What is your guys' modifiers for persuasion? Who has higher?
I have a +4.
I have the same.
Okay, so go ahead and roll again, Ashley.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Not good.
Pog and Ula like do their own aside, and they turn away from you guys. They're like, okay, yeah, you think so? No. I mean, that one really is drunk. Okay, and they turn back to you guys, and they go, and Ula just starts spouting off like, and then Pog just goes, yes, you guys, I mean, shape changers would make themselves look way more conspicuous than this. So, or take less conspicuous forms than this. So you guys can't be the shapeshifter. Just keep an eye out. It could be anything. So be careful, and you guys move along. You guys are just fine. I like you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you
I
kindly.
think we're too dumb to be shapeshift.
Was he only talking
on.
to
We are.
Novo and Naivara, or was he
He
talking
was talking to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
There's
So,
Ace over his shoulder, proud of himself.
yeah.
They think we're too dumb to be shapeshifters.
And that's where we're going to end the session today. So, the party members, you have, it looks like up ahead you have a bridge to cross and more of Gnomengard to kind of figure out and find out. But you have survived the fickle Factor and his crossbow machine. You met the cooks in the kitchen. And you met the two guards, Ula and Pog, as you make your way. You have found out that a shapeshifter lurks in Gnomegard. and that you have to talk to Fizzle Stib and Double Dop in the workshop to get magic items. So yeah, from there we're gonna do our like little closing and stuff like that. So yeah. Ashley, would you like to read our attributions? Oh, but before Ashley does that, if anybody has any questions, make sure you put them down in the comments below right now. We're going to answer questions about the stream or just D&D in general or anything else you guys have questions about, whether it's about our game, how things work, how we rule stuff, all that. Post it now below. We're going to keep an eye on it and answer those questions. And while you're doing that, Ashley, would you like to read our attributions for our session?
Yeah, absolutely. So today we are using the D&D, the Dungeons and Dragons Essentials Kit. We are for our adventure, and then we are also using Roll20 as the online platform where we are playing at, which you can see in the stream as well. Some of our NPCs or the non-player characters, the little tokens. Those are coming from colorful characters, which you can purchase on drivethrurpg.com. Or there's also Token Treasury Monsters, which you can just Google. They're their own site. Lastly, thank you to Hero Forge. That's where we got our player characters. If you're interested in purchasing any of the more hands-on stuff like the D&D Essentials Kit, you can get those things preferably at your local game stores. Go support them if you can. If not, they are available on most online manufacturers like Amazon, eBay, things like that. You should also be able to get them at most regular stores as well. I think they carry them at like Targets and Walmarts and things like that. But if you can, we'd love if you could support your local game store. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley. Great job. And thank you to my players for tonight. Dalton as UFO, Dan as Bjorn, Justin as Dr. Rivers, Ashley as Nivara, and Christian as Novo. Excellent work today, guys. Starting to explore Nomengard and all that kind of stuff. Since we have a little bit of time left, what was everybody's thoughts about the session today? Was there any moments that you liked together? Was there anything that you wanted to talk about?
I really want to break that crossbow thing.
I'm pretty sure
really want to break.
Not much left of it for you to break, sir.
I'm pretty sure Factor would have a stroke if you broke it, like fully.
Yeah. No, I know. Like I wanted to see that happen. Like, I just wanted to see like this guy's like most beloved creation like crumble before his eyes. And I don't know if that's me or if that's my character.
Pretty brutal.
A little both.
Brutal.
I like the intrigue of the shapeshifter that's building. I'm curious to find out if we've already met them, if there's someone we've already seen, if there's someone yet to be seen. He's like Factor, he's a little crazy, but seems to be like crazy like in a way everybody expects. But there was that one gnome woman who like didn't know how barrels worked. Like was that what was going on?
Yeah, that's true. There was
That
that.
is
Yeah,
pretty
everybody else
weird.
seemed to be like really competent at their job, and then she was not.
Well, there was also the
No,
baker
no.
who couldn't roll the bread correctly. Like I think the whole vibe in there was that like not I don't think anybody knew what they were doing in that kitchen.
What
I
if they're
thought
all
it was the gnomes
shapeshifters?
being quirky.
What if they're all shapeshifters? What if it's a whole thing of shapeshifters that just took out the gnomes?
None of them are gnomes. They're
None
all
of them are
shapeshifters.
gnomes.
The name Nomengard was like a ploy the whole time.
Oh my god, it's like Iceland or Greenland. I mean, it's like Greenland. Ah! It's not green at all.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I enjoyed our little role-playing moment at the beginning when we were trying to figure out the asides and the meat shields, which was not the intention was not for them to be explicit meat shields. It was more so we can't separate from them because we will die otherwise. But you know,
Just tactical decisions, you know.
I see a lot of divide and potential character growth between the party members already forming. You know, we have a long journey ahead of us. There's still room
Our
to.
characters don't know that at all.
Yeah.
They have no idea that conversation happened. So we're all like, "Yeah, hey, look at our new friends. They're great." You don't know. They just talked about being like, if there's a bullet coming, I'm jumping right behind them.
Another bolt from a crossbow right in front of that.
It's paid off so far.
Sure.
I'm really sad by the amount of damage my crab has already taken.
How
It's
much
lost
damage did it?
1/6
Oh.
1/6 of its health.
We can fix it. We can get it fixed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm riding around. I'm taking this thing.
So we
This
get it
is-
repaired, put a crossbow on it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, do that. We can like slap some runes on it or something. Like we
Yeah.
can just do
So-
a whole bunch of it.
Yeah, my question is, the pyrotechnic guy, UFO, could he not affix magic to this device as well?
Maybe if I could get a hold of like a wand or something, I might be able to make something work, but not really sure at the moment.
I would
Yeah, it sounds
argue
pretty great.
that if you were adding on contraptions and parts, somebody would have to be proficient with like Tinker's tools and stuff like that. So,
Sure. I guess I'm more so questioning if that is possible within our party.
I like to think. Oh, go ahead, Justin.
Oh, I was just saying, I can't.
I don't think I can either.
Yeah.
I like to think some of the backgrounds and such or classes give you proficiency with different stuff. Like druids, I think have access to herbalism kits and everything. So like, D&D doesn't really go into the details of that kind of stuff. But I would rule that like if a tinkerer's kit, you can usually like craft things and like make adjustments, even if you're not an artificer, depending on like what level of that is. And then like herbalism kits, you can probably make different types of potions, but there's not really rules for that. So that's definitely DM dependent, and that's something we can definitely access to or talk about later on. But it is now our designated time. I think it's about time to sign off. Was there any last words anybody had?
No, it was good.
Nah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks to anybody who tuned in today.
Thank you,
Appreciate it,
guys.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to
Alright.
find these streams again, we upload them up onto our YouTube channel with the same name, and Spencer also puts in a lot of fun work making some cool little like clips and highlights videos for us that are very fun to watch and add a whole little more dimension. So if you want to show those off to people and send them here, we'll be back next Sunday at the same time at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Tell your friends about us.
Check
Tell
out
your
our
friends.
YouTube.
Please do. Thank you all.
All right.
Check
Thank
out
you,
our
everyone,
YouTube
for tuning
stuff.
in.
Awesome.
See you next week for more ABCs of RPGs.